and I didn't want it spoiled, so I'm watching other people play it. They're having a way worse time than I've ever had with some of this stuff. Like, watching people spend like 2 or 3 hours trying to fight the first freaking boss that you can run into, and I beat it on my like second try. And then there's other bosses that I was like, oh, I hate this boss so much. It took me like a couple dozen, like not even a couple dozen tries. And then there is literally like 3 different streams this person did of 6 hours long fighting that same boss before they beat it. And I'm like, do I even have room to complain? I mean, I guess I still do, because I complain not because I'm mad, but because it's like game design standpoint thing. There we go. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not even connected, so you can't blame that on me. Connecting. Hey everybody, I'm Cereal Canine, it's MaGMML3.
Did you connect?
I'm trying. There we go.
The rave concert.
Yay. There we go. Yeah, I don't even remember what we did last time. We did, yeah, Hunter Woman. She exists. The Jumbotron also exists. This is a new level. Mine Explosion by Diego So.
Explosion, Superman.
It's really busy up close to the stage like this, so I'm using my light to guide people. Also handing out flyers for my solar workout sessions. Here, take one. You did not take the solar workout flyer. Hey, hey, hey! Oh, how about we blow this shindig and go to this pub down the street? And one down the corner, like, and 100 yards from there? Let's keep the dream going all night long. I'll not work tomorrow. You bastard, me old Chuck. How about a few bottles of pop on me?
Oh, okay then. Bastion is technically old enough, but also not old enough. Kind of reminds me, somebody said they don't like Adol in East because Adol's a psychopath. Like, what? Like,
only if you play him like one.
I guess it's just because he's always looking for danger or something. And always getting in fights with people. But he's not the one instigating the fights. It's like, if Adol is around and there's a bad guy around, he's like a frickin'... he's like a flame to the Maws or something. They just have to go and kick the Adol. Like, you can't ignore him. You don't have to instigate him. How many times is he just doing nothing but minding his own business and he just gets... bad guys just dragging him into stuff?
I wonder if Nordics is even going to support co-op at all.
I think it's partly co-op based.
If it is, that's cool, but like I've read that it's got 2 control schemes, one for controlling both characters at once, one for controlling one.
I thought I heard that player 2, there's a second player that can play the other one. I mean, we've had co-op
that's cool.
We've had co-op in the East games for a
but that was with that's like the party systems of 7 through 9. Or well, 8 and 9, really. It's just because 10 only has 2 player characters. I was wondering if it might be different. Wait, when did I die?
You died a while back.
Distracted! That's me.
Why did that start shaking? Okay, those should not start shaking before you get there. That's kind of weird. Oh, that's why.
They just shake when they hit the middle of the screen. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oops. Oh. Oops, sorry. Oh no! Oh no! Or are you trying to get out magnet beam?
It apparently can't use it.
Nice jump.
Who's good angler? As long as this way he doesn't miss the token. Whoa. Doesn't look like there's one on the upper route.
Ooh, plushie!
There's the other token. Why is it have exits listed on this? What?
What?
Look at that. That room has an exit listed.
That's...
But it's just a hole.
Oh. Hmm.
Well, I got the token.
My mini-map changed color when we did a screen transition.
Wahoo!
Oh, here we are! The boss. Oh look, it's Stone Man. Yeah. What do you think? Was Mega Man 5 a good game?
Yeah.
Tell you what, it doesn't have a... Well, the individual music tracks in Mega Man 5, I feel, are not particularly distinct from each other.
Well, that was a little exploit found there. The boss got stuck.
Sarara Joe. From episode 0. Alright, so, yeah, that was... I mean, Shinryu didn't like it, but it was pretty harmless as far as levels go.
It has a pretty simple level.
In general, this is a fine level. The enemy set is appropriate for a cave, but it's still interesting through the use of unusual options. Fatula is generally a pleasant sight, and I found the Battens and the recurring picket men were more effective than usual. On the gimmick side, Uranus platforms, Drillman rocks, and Pluto girders work very well together. Their introductory segments are highly effective, and they can feel difficulty curve for each segment. Particular props for the platforming segment before Gun Drill. And just the last couple of rooms before the boss, although said boss can get stuck if he lands at the wrong spot, jumping in place uselessly, so that was a letdown.
I found that too, yes.
If there's anything I have to say as a weakness, it's that a lot of enemies feel underutilized. I only ever remember seeing Gabriel all once, and I found both Soshi Breaker and Karakari did very little for the level as a whole. It's not to say what they do is bad, but they didn't do enough to stand out. In fact, that describes basically the entire upper path, because yes, this level has a split path. If you didn't notice, I don't blame you. The bottom path's entrance telegraphs like a bottomless pit, which is a crying shame because that diamond path's got more interesting graphics. And the split path as a whole is probably one of the most smoothly implemented in a contest. It has a different gimmick emphasis from the top path, but you'll learn everything you need to know regardless, which is really cool. Beyond that, oops, this is a solid cave level. It's not groundbreaking, but it's fun to play. For me, that's enough to do decently, but I'd hope to see something more interesting in the future. This is a level that, by and large, is pretty average in the grand scheme of things. And why'd you give it a 36? However, when you have an interesting... when you have an average level that doesn't excel in one thing in particular, it also runs a heavy risk of being boring. And that's what, unfortunately, what knocked this stage down so much for me. The main positives I can point to here are that the enemies and gimmicks all have proper introduction, except maybe for, oops, the falling girders. All with there being a clear attempt at difficulty progression by combining those gimmicks. Sadly, the rest of the level design ended up suffering thanks to many of these segments feeling way too easy, and at sometimes somewhat interchangeable. I mainly blame this on the enemy placement, as a good portion of them are positioned at or near level footing with the player. Not only does this make most of them rather non-threatening even when gimmicks get involved, but it also makes ourselves feel very samey after a while. The only enemy I could recall giving me any sort of trouble here was the one picket man positioned under a section of rotating platforms. That particular segment, along with the girders sections found in the underground path, are easily the most standout moments of the stage. They definitely prove that the level could have been much more engaging, and if the rest of it was up to par with said segments, I feel like I would have enjoyed it a lot more. This mine is mine! Pretty short but sweet. I like the combination of the sinking platform and rock dispensers used here. Those elements can be misused easily, but that's not the case here. The challenge is here for your fair. Falling platforms over pit sections is appreciated to not have airborne enemies pursuing you. For once, it's managed to be tense enough without the enemies still, thanks to the rock dispensers. Only real problem is the stage length. The challenges could have been expanded more if more time had been put into the level creation process. While the tiling of the stage looks fine for the most part, some of the backgrounds, foreground and background-wise, or some of the patterns, foreground and background-wise, could use a few breaking up here and there. Stoneman can get stuck on the bottom of the arena if you're on the left side and he can't jump out. Oops. You won't find any breathtaking surprises here, but simplicity works to this level's advantage. The layout is intuitive, the graphics are clean, and there's never any question about what the challenges want from the player. An alternate path provides a place for excess creativity to run amok without inflating the overall level length. The boss fight isn't some gonzo extravaganza, but rather a familiar fight with a meaningful twist. When I ask for a good Mega Man level, these are the kinds of things I like to see. I also like to see three things that aren't quite present here. First, clearly labeled pits. Second, screen transitions that restrict unnecessary backtracking and prevent goofballs like me from discovering new ways to die. Third, architecture that gives more of a buffer along the screen edges, avoiding situations where the health bar is obscuring a screen exit, or where a player can slide into a new screen and promptly explode on spikes. These mild shortcomings are overshadowed by good checkpoint placement, well-timed visit from Eddie, and purposeful challenge design that is always cognizant of what came before and what lies ahead. I'm especially impressed that the learning curve remains intact regardless of which path you take, something designers often overlook.
How did you manage to find like that one spot my rib still hurts, Cat, and push on it so hard? Ouch.
I will say that the bottom path is stronger than the top path. It's more eye-catching with a tighter focus and more refined difficulty progression. I would have liked more enemy gimmick interaction with the later girders, though. I don't think it would have hurt to leave Rush Jet and Magnet being enabled, especially when there's not a single weapon refill amongst the numerous item caches. I raise an eyebrow at the one spot where boulders spawn on top of the tube. What stands out most, though, is how this level gets so many key design elements right. A fairly basic run-of-the-mill mine-themed stage. While it doesn't exactly mark a brand new experience, you played one Rock-themed Mega Man level, you played this one. It also doesn't do much in the way that it's objectionable. There's some real positives. I honestly appreciate that you can easily backtrack into the first token room. It simply rewards a player who is paying attention. And given the layout of the area preceding the second one, it's also hard to miss. There's a nice steady increase in difficulty, and by the end of the level, assets start getting combined in reasonably new ways. Nothing too noteworthy, but what's there is fun to just feel like a middle-of-the-road Mega Man level. Some additional attention to detail was needed in the tiling, missing pit designations and drop shadows for ceilings. But that's really it. It looked okay otherwise. Level design is not convoluted enough for transitions and pits to be hard to tell apart. I appreciate mixing up the tiles for the background. It helps. Unfortunately, enemies seemed like an afterthought. They're mostly just there to briefly inconvenience the player and never prove the challenge. Even Stoneman in his new room feel undercooked. It doesn't benefit him, it makes an already easy fight even easier. Lastly, the rather hard-to-find alternative path didn't really add anything to the level. It's all straightforward, easy, and dull. The player never really needs to stop. I think just not including this path and getting more interesting enemy setups would have been the best way to help a level like this. All in all, it's fine and rather average. Unfortunately, and this is not helped by the name, this is not going to be a stage people remember. Here, Gemini Man. I love dancing! I hate dancing.
Treading the... Oh no, sewer level.
Oh no! Whoops.
Nope. There is no token in this level. Well, it's a good thing we had reduced knockback on.
Yes. Yeah. Oof. Nice.
Whoa, that could have ended up right in the spikes there.
Yeah, but there was a checkpoint on that screen, so it probably wouldn't have set us back any. I hope. End tank, baby.
What?
Invisiladder, apparently. Meme! Rome, if you're reading this, I have something very important to tell you. Hi, Durgan.
What?
Whoops.
Oh!
Hang on, let me get one of those. Pirate said I would get a score penalty if I hit a meme tank, but I don't care, I'm hiding one anyway! Mwahaha! Whoops!
Lag! It's like a double lag kill there.
Whoops! The lag from your death killed me.
I know, I got like a little spot of lag and I died, and then it just immediately got you. It was a meme death, I guess.
I guess.
That was the penalty for the meme tank room. I don't know. It's just...
The death penalty. You will now have bad luck for the rest of your life. Now your game will be bugged so you can never 100% it. Cower in fear, your new god is here. What's with all the Rowan Mithril memes?
I mean, if he plays Mega Man a lot, I guess.
Yes, he does.
I've never heard of him, but I guess I should probably...
He does... he's the guy who did Perfect...
I mean, I may have seen his stuff before and just not realized it, because I used to do Perfect and...
Yeah, he had a very long series where he did a perfect run of all the Robot Masters.
Shinry was the one I used to watch all the time, playing all the fan games and stuff. That's how I found out about most of the ones I got and played.
Raukau has also done in all the Mega Man series.
Oh, there's just maybe it's just YouTube, but it's never seemed like there's been a lot of Mega Man YouTubers compared to like other games.
Oops.
I'd
say Raukau is primarily a Mario YouTuber.
Yeah, that's what it seems. Man.
I, on the other hand, I love Battle Network, but I am waiting a good long while before I start 6. After the experience 5 gave me. 6 is much better than 5, but, you know, still want to take a break from it.
I have cat percentage going on.
Uh-oh. Interesting room layout for Sparkman here. Nice. Alright! Tier boss unlocked. Missing texture. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do.
Why is the plushie following you?
I don't know. Let's fix that.
It can follow you?
I guess so.
Oh,
Let's try and find it. It's probably at the far end of. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, you can equip it.
Yeah. Yoshi! And that didn't help me. Thanks, game.
I guess you could equip your own too.
Yeah. But when I open the plushie collection, you're the one who controls the menu, so I can't unequip the plushie. Thanks, game.
Oh no! So you equip it, you can't unequip it, huh?
Yeah, it's from Gary's mod. A 5-star rarity. It's still here.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
That seems like a reportable bug. Well, you know what? Next time we get a plushie, I'll equip and unequip it and see if that fixes it. Oh, right. Reviews. This level exists! It has a decent variety of enemies and a good set of gimmicks, with challenges that do increase in complexity as you progress. It's pretty easy to notice with how it goes from drop platforms to wheel platforms to both, all of the watery I almost said Battle Network 4. Mega Man 4 Wily 1 backdrop. Unfortunately, the challenges themselves are pretty samey, being just small variations of precarious jumps the whole way through. The enemy set isn't much better off, as the vast majority are easy pickings even with the Buster. Datarniapa is kind of an exception, but that's mostly because this one section is irritating enough to upset what difficulty there is. And I will give props to B-Bitter underwater. Since if your charge shot aim isn't on point, it can be an actual threat. For B-Bitter, that's amazing. There's 3 other things to talk about here. First, the level would have genuinely benefited from some tokens. There's been times when I've seen challenging optional paths, but they just lead to tanks so I can buy from the shop, so there's no incentive for me to go after them. This is also true of the one-up joke. I can't say I particularly care about it, but again, it would have landed better if there was a more serious incentive to go down there. The other thing is the boss. Sparkman's got a decent fight going, with the drop platforms and wheels making a slightly more interesting battlefield, but why is Sparkman guarding a sewer system? Wouldn't that potentially be hideously dangerous? For the most part, this
Hi, Rusty.
Hi, Rusty. Hey, buddy.
The screen is there somewhere.
He's a rusty buddy.
Naked.
For the most part, this is a perfectly serviceable level. It's not exactly interesting, but it doesn't do anything awful either. The overall structure of the stage is pretty decent. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and most of the gimmicks and enemies are introduced fairly well. There's one exception to this hour, that being the Datarniapas. There's one enemy type that should be carefully introduced to the player.
You got a taste of my medicine there, huh, Rusty? Rusty went and got slapped right inside the mouth by Sweetie's tail.
Rusty buddy. If there's one If there's one enemy type that should be carefully introduced to the player, it really should be the up and down style ones. Mainly given their tendency to blindside people into accidentally falling down pits, which can easily happen here during the first encounter with him. That one moment aside, that there wasn't really much that stood out bad, but as I said before, that also goes for anything good as well. Yeah. That's easily the biggest issue this stage has. It doesn't really do anything to elevate itself beyond average. It plays things incredibly safe with its design, which is fair, but ultimately results in a pretty boring experience. The Sparkman fight is the only part I'd call interesting, since it actually mixes things up a bit with the two main gimmicks of the stage. Definitely adds a bit more to an otherwise vanilla Robot Master fight, but it's ultimately not enough to make the level stand out as a whole. Insert sewer joke here! Welcome back to Mega Man 4 Wily 1, even down to the tile set and music. It's an underrated aesthetic combo, so I quite appreciate the appreciation here. A nifty and fun little stage. The difficulty is just right. The gimmicks and enemies all go very well together. My favorite part of the stage is the part where the game lost focus.
Sweetie! There, it should be back.
Where the player has to slide in and pass it in and passage. Okay, Patchy. And outlure the cannon enemy to pop up. So it becomes vulnerable.
What?
I don't know. Why do you call it oven when you oven the cold food of out hot eat the food?
Message and outlure the cannon enemy. Channel Garfield for a second there. What the heck?
What, Garfield?
That's where the in the oven thing came from. John was saying that about something. Like, why do we call it oven when we in out the food or whatever thing? It's like, what?
That sounds like a square root of minus Garfield. I don't know if it was a strip proper. I also like the conveyor belts that drop platforms you see throughout the stage being incorporated into the boss arena. It's a really neat touch. Little side challenge paths to the tanks are reasonable too. Wouldn't mind if you'd swap one of them for tokens so players are more inclined to go for them. The talking one-up is strange. I assume it's really just there just for jokes and not really impacting how the stage is going to be played. You will now have bad luck for the rest of this review! I'm kidding, hopefully. This may not be the flashiest or most groundbreaking level, but it demonstrates a firm grasp of good game design principles. The learning curve is just right. Gentle and gradual introductions thoughtfully snowball into something tricky. Challenges are always reasonable and fair, notwithstanding the first pit popper, which would be a safer surprise if moved one tile to the left. Power-ups are doled out at a good pace, and level length is perfect. Varied architecture keeps the player from avoiding too much of the challenge by using special weapons. Small challenge arcs give the level a sense of structure. Checkpoints are smartly placed after each arc that are unusually high frequency. Okay.
But Rusty. Somewhat
diminishes the difficulty. It works really well to combine this. Nope.
Focus, because you just unfocused it right after I recall.
The main gimmicks of the boss you'd at least expect to find in a sewer. Or that ironic humor beyond the extra life and secret room would have punched things up nicely.
What is this?
Indeed, the level could use more character.
What is this?
Bad puppy.
Hi, Rusty. Look out. You unfocused the game again. There we go.
Indeed. The level could use more character. The aesthetics are terrific, but they're copy-pasted from Mega Man 4 without alteration, and the sewer vibe stems solely from the tile set. Gimmicks are used well, but the one platform at a time approach starts to feel samey by the end. Unusual platform configurations, e.g. a column of drop platforms, a staircase of conveyors, and more enemy involvement toward the end. I can't believe I'm saying this, but why only one Hammer Joe? Would have gone a long way. Still, this feels like a Capcom level, polished and deliberate. Jumping in and out of water physics while navigating gimmick platforms is a clever way to mess with the player's head. The Pukapelli guarding the weapon refill leverages the respawning mechanic nicely. B-bitter use is consistently excellent. The level is too safe, perhaps, but solid. The point of remaking levels in this sort of fashion is to introduce something original that expands or reinvents the concept of the original level. As it stands, it could have been plonked into the original game and would not seem out of place, but as this was one of the WoW levels, this isn't a good thing. That being said, the stage is completely inoffensive, and while there isn't much challenge, every so often there is fun to be had, particularly the final water room. However, the two chosen gimmicks are mechanically similar, so there's not much variety throughout the stage. The only other major negative is the Datarna Yappa room, Mega Man 9 pit enemy, which gives very little room to maneuver and spawn far too quickly to be comfortable. There are several cyber wars that would have been a bonus to the stage, but were not worth going after due to lackluster reward. These would have been ideal tokens. Also, I found both Easter eggs, they weren't funny. Weirdly, the highlight of the stage was the dev kit boss, as the room layout and gimmicks added a decent twist to the Sparkman battle. There's a glitch with the Shadow Man platforms and the energy elements, which you can send flying across the stage. Not really a problem, but I did find it pretty funny. One final positive, the stage looks really well tiled. You definitely nailed the look of the source stage, something that several recreation stages in this contest feel hard at. I, for one, am neutral toward the act of dancing. Weapon Data Center by 8-Bit Fan. Hi, Presto. Oh! He goes up,
Bye,
okay.
Presto.
Dudes practicing skateboards outside again.
Oh, the plushie is still there.
Yeah.
I hope we get another drop so they can get rid of that thing.
The High Priestess. What?
I have no idea.
Woo! Oh, good thing there's no tokens here. What? Ballade? Hi, Nightman. Ugh. Darn you, the floral! Okay. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Okay. Ouija! Woof! Ah! Water? What? Where did that come from? Ah! Where's all this water coming from? Woof! Luna!
Oh
Shush puppy!
Luna!
So much roo-roo. Hey there, Commando Man. He exists. Not great. Ooh. Boink.
Luna, please. Luna! Oh my god, dog.
Hi, Anchor.
What? What?
Oh!
What was bouncing off? What was it bouncing off of? I didn't see anything.
That was my Buster Shots. Muji! Oops. Whoa!
I guess I'm going this way.
I guess you are going that way. Man, this level must have so many branching paths. Oh, look!
Luna, stop, please.
Roo, roo, roo. That's what the roo roo says. Roo, roo, roo. Alright, while you're doing this, I'm gonna go get a fruit thing. Yeah.
Luna! Luna! Oh my god, Doug, shut up! Oh my god, Ugh. Stop.
Reading a lot.
No, Rusty, no vine boom. Look out.
Whoa, a developer room. Amazing.
That I wanted to get the other thing, Rusty, but thanks, I guess. Rusty,
Oh, did Parsec?
I'm trying to play game.
Yeah, Parsec froze.
Oh no. I smell smoking meat. Smoke. It must be a restaurant down the street smoking stuff for tomorrow.
Let me in.
Oh my god. Rusty, please.
Okay. There's a plushie.
Hey, plushie. How long is this level? Jeez. Somebody making a smoothie or something? What the heck was that?
Probably. Mama froze a couple bananas. I'm assuming that's what that is.
Oh my god.
This sure is a level.
It keeps going and going and going. Are we there yet? Why is there just a random room down there?
Stop right there. You'll go no further than this.
Don't attack me, I'm not one of them. I came here to sit.
I don't care who you are. I'm not going to take any chances with you. Now, prepare yourself.
Okay.
Wait to break dash.
Very hard to avoid. Very
Oof.
hard to avoid. It's another shield enemy, but
Ready to roll. Or... No, hang on. My controller isn't working. Oh, thank you!
controller?
There we go.
That's kind of hard to hit him with his weakness. He stays
Yes.
in the corners.
Well, the uneven layout in general makes him hard to hit with break dash. I'm not done yet.
Stop! You're way too damaged to continue. Listen, I'm here to secure the place from Wily's robots. What? You're here to help us? Yes, I came here to help everyone that was trapped in this facility. Guess I was a bit hasty in my assumptions, but even then, I really enjoyed fighting you. Sorry if this is not the appropriate time for this, but what's your name? My name is Bastion. I'm Hodenki. Who? You're a strong robot, and I can feel it. I hope we can battle each other against some of it.
You broke him. Oh, hey, Hodenki, did they stop? Wait, who are you?
I'm asking the same question. No, you're not.
I'm Bastion. I'm here to help the people those trapped in the facility.
Quit trolling him, Susie.
Where is Hodenki? Where's my robot? I was forced to fight and I defeated him. You defeated him? Did you destroy him? No. I didn't destroy him, but he's heavily damaged. Really? Oh, thank goodness. I may be able to repair him. As long as I have the necessary materials, I can fix him and he'll be as good as new. Problem is, they're in my lab. But no worries, it's not too far away from here. You can have that weapon chip over there. Contains Hodenki's weapon, the discharge barrier. If it becomes useful for you in the future, think of it as a reward.
This is a level that just
Thank you,
assumes
Doctor.
you're going to get the weapon.
What's your name? I'll tell you later, but right now, I have to get moving and fix my robot.
Okay.
There. Silver! An ultimate adaptability program reformed into an adorable handful of a companion.
Woven Memories.
Never heard of it. Okay, there we go. No more plushie.
That was quite a long level. And what? Who is Hodenki? What is going on? I have no idea.
As far as weapon-themed levels go, this is decent. I like the idea of building your arsenal as you advance, and the split pass influencing your final arsenal is a decent idea, although I wish it was an informed choice. Unfortunately, fitting 6 weapon tutorials into a normal-sized level means I spend a lot of time on teaching, less time on using. In fact, most of the levels just enemy challenges that the Buster could just punch through without much issue. Laser Trident section is the core section. Laser Trident section is the core exception, with a section that uses interesting enemy combinations while simultaneously encouraging weapon use. More of the level need to be like Laser Trident. It's not to say there isn't a level here. The enemy set is cool, looking like a cosplay convention of robot masters. Some of them are quite useful, namely Punk and Waveman. Others can be a bit dull. Nightman is painfully easy to pick off at range, and Anchor is only a threat if you get severely trigger-happy. However, the biggest weakness is how often some of the enemies are used. Some of them luck out, such as Skullman being a good bodyguard. Others, like Commando Man, are too infrequent to be very useful. Even when they do show up, they tend to be very samey in application. I don't remember a lot of variety in application here. As for the gimmicks, it's mainly conveyor belts and spark generators. The conveyor belts are standard fare, but the generators are a nice twist that ties into the boss fight. Unfortunately, how they're handled varies wildly on the split pass. The normal pass, denoted by pink Yonbanes, don't really expand on the assets, making it a little boring, but the extra pass, denoted by orange Yonbanes, put in the necessary work to create cool challenges using the gimmicks. Beyond that, the spark generators tended to blend into the tiles, making it hard to see where you'll need to start dodging, though thankfully not impossible. Still, the level is pretty entertaining with the right pass, and I appreciate that it's not just forced weapon usage outright. Also ends with an okay boss, though Hodenki has some issues. I like his variety of attacks. He ends up a good deal more interesting than most shield bosses. Unfortunately, he doesn't take enough damage to match his vulnerability time, a problem common to most shield bosses. I also have no idea how it consistently dodges running attack, but the rest of it is easy enough to figure out. As a whole, this is decent. It's not groundbreaking, and it focuses a bit too much on tutorials, but it's still a fun time. I don't know why those joke intros exist. Firstly, let me just say thank you for not putting any tokens in this stage. Given the way it's set up, what with all the split paths, including tokens could have been really detrimental in the long run. The idea of having your weapon set being limited or influenced by which path you take seems like a way better idea. That said, the stage isn't without its faults. While I like the general idea of the level, something about the execution didn't really get me excited for any of my repeat playthroughs to check the other paths. I think this mainly has to do with the overall room and enemy layouts. They're not necessarily bad, but as the enemy placement often complements the conveyor belt and spark placements in a way that doesn't make things too chaotic. It's the lack of difficulty curve that often makes them feel almost indistinguishable from each other. Besides maybe the vertical segment full of conveyor belts after getting the laser trident, I couldn't really recall any one distinct section of the stage off the top of my head. Like I said, it's not really bad, just a bit on the bland side. Unless the Robot Master type enemies do breathe a bit of life into the stage, at least for a little while. Although they're certainly fun to look at and fight against, I found their novelty wore off pretty quickly on repeat playthroughs. The split paths also suffered a bit during this as well, mostly with the decisions for which weapons to get. Once you realize that laser trident is the most effective weapon to use on a boss and a good chunk of the enemies, there's little incentive to avoid the path it's on unless you want to challenge yourself not to use it. On that note, Hodenki is easily the best part of the stage. In terms of shield-focused bosses, his fights are really well put together. His attacks all have good telegraphs, and each of his moves are threatening without being too difficult to avoid. With the slight exception of him walking around with his barrier up, I found trying to dodge him with the weird rune terrain can be a bit finicky, but it's still doable. It also really helps that Hodenki himself is pretty memorable, largely thanks to his opening dialogue and the variations you can get if you lose to him. Overall, while the stage itself is a bit of a mixed bag, especially on repeat playthroughs, I still really like the idea behind it, and in the end, boss manages to salvage it by a good amount. Plus, I really got a kick out of those extra intros, so kudos on having one of the few stages in this game to do comic relief well. Alright, so now that the review portion of this is over, I have one final little side note to address regarding the end of this level. Keep in mind that what I'm going isn't to bring up here didn't affect the level score, rather, I'm using this as an opportunity for a bit of a PSA, specifically for those of you who want to drop hints of potential extra content that would be adapted from your level into the main game. Simply put, don't do it. That kind of decision is up to the dev team to make, not you. Just because you have a well-designed Robot Master fight doesn't automatically mean it'll get represented with an alter weapon or a skin. In fact, trying to push this via hints, dialogue, side quests, or whatever else is more likely to make your requests go ignored. Just focus on making a good, fun, or unique level and let the dev team handle the extra stuff. Yeah, I bet Jace is gonna get mad. Protect the data! There's a lot of cool ideas with this stage, but the execution is just not quite on point. The main enemies, for example. Basically, there are various boss attacks, each being implemented into a stage enemy of its own. That's a really cool idea. Bosses that were chosen, and a lot of their roles are overlapping, like Nightman, Anchor, and Skullman, all fitting the shield role. It heavily limits the design choices when it comes to creating challenges, and the stage shows just that. Oftentimes when you fight them together, there's a boss replica accompanied by one of the shield bosses mentioned. It gets stale and repetitive. Another point to mention, throughout the stage you'll encounter a Nightman enemy a lot. He always seems to be guarding a room exit. Meanwhile, there are Joe enemies in the stage too, for extra shielded padding glory. It quickly becomes tedious walking through with all the stalling that occurs. The electric ball gimmick, I really don't like how the spawner is merged into the tile set. While it looks neat aesthetic-wise, the readability is hindered in the process. It can become difficult for a player to notice the danger coming their way. The weapons that you come across, since the stage doesn't really convey their functions beyond the screen or two they were placed in, most of the time we switch back to the Buster. They just aren't relevant enough, and the stage would play much differently if the player would be giving them from at the get-go. The boss is just... what the... He's dabbing now? Silly intros are fine, but this seems really unnecessary, especially when after you defeat him, he gives you this dramatic stage that is supposed to be taken seriously. After that, you meet his creator, who is a Mega Man edit, where the dialogues also started rather seriously, but thankfully toned down afterwards. The whole exchange just felt really awkward. The music sounds cool at first, with the snippets of Anchor's stage from Mega Man 10 remixed here and there. However, it does get a little repetitive as it goes on for this rather long stage with multiple winding paths. Let's jump right in. The aesthetics and architecture feel professional. Challenges are never unfair or overly difficult. Conveyors and sparks are a decent combo. Checkpoints and power-ups are generous. There are some issues, slight soft lock potential, minor programming and layout complaints, some rehashed Suzy use, but they're not what bug me most. Sorry, this is going to be a rant. So you're gradually building an arsenal of special weapons. Awesome. But the level isn't designed around the inherent limitations or unique properties of your arsenal. Breakdash knocks down a wall or two. Ice Wall floats in water, which is never relevant again. Considering the premise, this level is buster-friendly to a fault. Because the challenges remain constant in complexity and difficulty, the level keeps getting easier as more weapons are introduced. Breakdash and Laser Trident make short work of the copious enemies that stand around blocking your path. I like the bosses and enemies concept, and that they use appealing new sprites, but there's too much ability overlap. Blot shots, fire forward. The more versatile enemies, Commando, Punk, and Wave, are used infrequently and in places that don't take full advantage of their attack patterns. Moreover, a player unfamiliar with these bosses may struggle to adapt to so many new enemies at once. Podenki is the icing on this frustration cake. He's a fine opponent, but how is he a weapon data guardian? The ending dialogue with Unknown is the last straw. It sounds like we're going to use Hodenki's power to get the tools from the lab, but then the level just ends. It's either confusing or presumptuous, depending on whether you expected an alter weapon from the dev team. It's not a bad level by any means, but man does it press all the wrong buttons for me. Another long one, but that's for a rather odd case. Okay, I get the picture that the stage's promise of an unlockable weapon was due to a massive misunderstanding in how the unlocks are handled in past Magmals. It happens, but at the end of the day, it isn't going to be unlockable. The reasons why not are fairly obvious. Entrance forcing us to include unlocks is not a precedent we want to ever set. For what it's worth, this meta element isn't affecting the score for me, and I don't have anything to add about it until the end of the reviews. It has no real bearing on the qualities or faults of the stage. I just figured it was worth a mention. With that out of the way. God, this is clearly a ton of effort. And you know, it's a cute concept. Your minion versions of Robot Masters is adorable, and the level has some actual life in the animation. Aesthetically, it's grand, and upgrading your arsenal over time here manages to avoid the trite, bad attempt at a Metroidvania in a level design contest that seems to be a recurring nemesis of Magmal judges by being both linear, but also offering paths to increase replay value. And again, this must be praised for restraint, not forcing that with multiple endpoints. This level feels like a deliberate method of avoiding the increasingly overused trope of level where you collect and get locked into weapons. Somehow in execution, it all feels rather routine and by the numbers. Very few of the master minions feel like they're placed in any sort of challenging or interesting way. Hell, some, like the Knight Minion and Anchor Minion, are almost utterly useless as an enemy, feeling more like time wasters than an actual threat. Others feel like one-trick ponies, such as the Gemini minions. This is good. Collecting weapons throughout the stage feels equally worthless. For once, I feel some more forced weapon usage could have made upgrading feel worthwhile. There's so few instances where weapons have an impact. Combined with some of the dullest enemies in the dev kit and the entire place looking very samey and frankly boring. I haven't normally minded dev kit mini-bosses unless they're egregious, and frankly, Suzik and Phoenix are. They've really felt like a pointless addition thrown in just for the sake of it. Unfortunately, no real path offers any particularly new over to others. Sure, one route has the world's smallest water segment, and the climb of the conveyor starts to rise to the challenge before ending on a whimper. Really, and thus kind of defeats the point of multiple routes. In the end, the stage, for all its good qualities, ends up rather dull and predictable. And that's a real shame. I wanted to like it, but aesthetics and occasional charm can only carry you so far. Let's end on Hodenki. Overall, I like him. Big praise for his simple addition to his weakness as the only required weapon in the level. He's in a hard fight, but the player isn't left in the cold, forced to E-tank if they just can't deal with him. Good. He has an interesting suite of attacks that do not offer obvious dodges, but require you to learn him and his tells. I would have liked the personality he offers more, especially the overconfidence offered by a lying down animation, but I think in your rush to show off all his quirks left me rather irritated that the cutscene keeps repeating and repeating. This does not endear me to keep trying to perfect the fight, which has its own problem. His walking attack offers a huge hitbox and quickly corners the player. Minus weapons, I have found no way to dodge this. It ends on a sour note as he's a fun boss otherwise. And the attacks, as I said, they're interesting. The multi-uses of discharge barriers seem like they make an ideal contest weapon, and in spite of the crap walking attack, I did like Hodenki. And without that blunder I mentioned at the beginning, there's a chance Hodenki's weapon would be a shoo-in, so yeah, you kind of shot yourself in the foot there.
Ouch.
You know, I've been thinking of testing its platform's limits. Spinning around real fast on it. Still only takes until you get flung off and bashed into a wall. But every time I speed up, it's like I hear the platform whine. You think they're alive or something. Whoop, bye.
Actual Rockman.
Oh boy.
What the
Yes.
heck are you?
The crowd, the rhythmic presentation, the multicolored display. You might say this place is attuned to my liking.
Okay then. I have 3 cats on me. This is going to be difficult.
Oh boy.
Hey Sylvie, can you? There you go.
Silly
Now
kitty.
you're blocking the screen. Sylvie, I can't see anything.
Any idea what the music is from?
No.
Me either.
Okay. Tops. Sylvie, please. I can't see. I have no idea how I'm getting through this with only seeing half the screen. Is there something down there? I guess
No.
there was. Oh, great.
Whoops. Alright, I need to bio. Oop!
Nope.
Okay.
That I
Oh,
couldn't
I still
see,
need to
so
bio.
all the way back here. Sylvie, please.
It's good.
You... All right. While you're getting bio, I'm going to remove cats so I can get up. Maybe start some coffee if she's getting. See, this is right now blocking my screen. Like I'll try to. This is my view of the. This is my view of the screen, and she's standing. Or this is my view of the screen right here. Thank you, Rusty. Now, yes, that would be my view of the screen. So it's kind of hard to see. All right, I got it, Sylvie. I need to get this back in here. Here, have Kitty. I will go get some coffee stuff, I guess. If I can get the thing, that's it, so you can see Kitty. There we go, Kitty. Rusty, I'm gonna make some coffee. Luna, you don't need Rusty. Yes, I'm gonna still in the room. Fire somewhere, not like my place. Somewhere around here.
Eh?
There's like a nasty stink to me. What is that? Is that from here? That can't be in the house. That nasty smell. Oh! It's the river. Okay. Oh, God. Saltwater rivers can be stanky. Especially after rain.
Delicious.
Super steak. Alright. I would be talking 8.
Soup.
Soup. It stinks. It smells like dead fish. I mean, that's probably what it is, but. Alright. Coffee's being made. It should be done by the time we're done with the level. Let's go.
Let's go. Doodaloo. Hi.
And now I can actually see.
Yay.
The kitties have.
No checkpoint, huh?
Sylvie has been rubbing all over it, apparently.
Sylvie kitty. She's a Sylvie kitty. Woo!
Amazing how dangerous. Whoa! I didn't expect that to hit me. How dangerous the slow moving blocks are, or shots are. Speed run! Oh! Yay, being able to see makes a big difference. What happened there?
Yeah, the tops had to carry both of us, so... What? Okay. Uh-oh. Left, huh? Magnet beam to the left. Oh, we need to find the light trident.
Are we going for, like, the whole Metroidvania thing again here? Jeez.
I guess.
Bird. Uh-oh.
What is that?
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Careful shooting those on top of me. That's little bits here. There it is.
Warning, if intruders steal weapons stored here and get caught, said weapons will return to their original places. Oh boy.
Oh, if we die, then that's... With the weapon, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh? Yeah, okay. We have that.
Steve, please.
Testing environments for magnet beam platform. Authorized personnel only. Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Bird. Up.
Alright, we have magnet beam.
Ah! Glug, 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 glug.
I think I'm gonna use an E-tank.
That's fine. Especially if we can lose stuff by dying. That seems like an annoying way to do that.
Oh, that hurt me. Oops.
That... Oh, that was the secret thing that we already got.
Oof.
Great. Just gotta love it when you enter a room and immediately die. Oh no.
No effect. Yeah. Oh, that's both the tokens. Oh! Okay. Heh.
I'd rather not use energy tanks, but again, the whole you can probably lose your thing is kind of annoying.
Oh, what? No, I understand nothing. Ah.
I don't think that's how it's meant to be. I think it...
Well, let's do it anyway. Bah.
Like, I think we're supposed to be able to, like... Oh.
Bah.
If we lose our weapons, this is going to be really stupid. Oh, great. That is awful. That is just awful to do that. That I would subtract points for that immediately. That is awful. That is just bad. Now, wait, but now we can't get through here. Now we can't get through here. Well, that worked that time. Why take away the weapons? Why do that? That is just bad. That is just completely...
I mean, maybe they didn't have a choice. Maybe that's an engine thing.
No, it's not. Other levels where we've unlocked weapons don't disappear like that.
Okay.
This sure is something.
Yeah, I don't actually understand what's causing us to fall.
I don't know. It's just some kind of jerkish enemy placements, too. Those little, like, minecarts are just super annoying. Huh.
Checkpoint would be nice.
Oh, auto-scrolling.
Oops. Nice.
God, Rusty, you assholes! Don't! That hurt! You just, like, clawed up my arm.
Crud, I need to get past this tunnel, but this seems to be the end of the line. Oh, by the way, Creator wanted me to thank you for playing the stage. What? Oh.
What?
So, yeah, you found me. Congratulations, I guess. You created the stage to only get some useful info about the stage itself if you reach here, so ask anything. Yeah, overused joke.
Okay. Okay.
Guts met!
Okay. Guts met with like insta kill stuff here.
Oh, it's Uranus.
Rusty, please stop.
Huh. Yay, meme.
I mean, yeah, maybe we'd need the weapon energy if you didn't take the weapons from us.
Oh, there you are, you filthy thief.
Excuse me, who are you? And why do rocks fart?
Boop! You don't know me? I am the almighty Rockman, the one you copied her name from.
Did nothing... Sorry, my name is actually Bastion. Yeah.
Don't try to fool me, international release. You were based on the Rockman model built in Japan.
No. I don't think Bastion's Japanese. I don't know. I don't even think does his world even have anything equivalent to that. Just, no, maybe it would be easier to just sue me or Doctor. Don't sue me. What? What do you mean? No, Bastion, you're not even...
Actually, it would. But I'd be happier making you explode, Bastion twerp. Okay. Huh, weird. I'm supposed to be teleporting out of here after getting the element. Aha, you fell in my trap, Bastion twerp. What? You again?
Susie.
Yes, shameless clone! The energy element was a copy device. Now I've got your power! Now you're stealing my lines. Pipe up, I created that line before you even knew about it. It's time for you to punish you.
Really?
Abstract antagonists. Collectathon, 60%.
That boss was like a little needlessly like invulnerable for quite a while.
Okay, let's see here. We have dragonflies, walking bells, birds, spinning tops, sharks, I guess, and they're all inside a mineral mine with slow music and creepy eyes. It's definitely has some eccentric decisions. I found most of the level quite fun. In particular, the way the dev kit enemies, gimmicks, and enemies got twisted around was a welcome sight. A lot of interesting surprises. Both the dragonflies and Karakari felt more interesting than usual. The bird enemies were great options for an out-of-reach threat. And the tops drilling through rocks were an excellent twist. But the personal stunner was Wanderbell. That enemy really feels like the definition of cannon fodder as far as Mega Man goes. It's almost never useful, and yet I can think of a lot of Wanderbells here that required actually some genuine effort instead of just dying, and that's an achievement by itself. Combine that with a fun difficulty curve, a good cumulative auto-scroll, and the design feels overall solid. If I had to raise a complaint, the Hammerhead Sharks can be a little too easy to snipe, and one of the slide tunnels is annoyingly finicky. However, that's pretty small potatoes overall. So where did Rockman go wrong? That would be Rockman himself. To quickly describe this fight, remarkably unpolished with a lot of problems to adjust, and I do mean a lot of problems. First, his attacks take forever. It's unnecessary to spend 10 plus sections on each weapon, especially the ones that make him invincible. Second, his RNG behaviors mean he can spam the various invincible attacks, rapidly prolonging a fight past its welcome. Third, bosses that aren't likely to show off their whole arsenal in one fight is a pet peeve of mine. Fourth, anytime you die to him, you have to replay his really long intro cutscene, which is great fun since he has instant death in his room. Finally, the tornado top attack can shove him out of the room, leaving the energy element trapped and bouncing uselessly beneath the floor. It can also Kaiser trap you. Compound all these issues together, and the boss ends things on an infuriating note.
Boss that invulnerable for way too long. Luna, what are you doing? Do not. If that's what I think you have, Luna.
Is it your shoe again? Can't say I enjoyed this level much. By and large, it's a perfectly average stage.
Yes, you have litter all over your nose. I know what you were doing.
By and large, it's a perfectly average stage nearly all the way through, but there's a few questionable things, mostly towards the end, that unfortunately drag it down a bit. To focus on some positive aspects first, there's some pretty decent gimmick combos here. On their own, the top platforms and destructible rocks aren't all that interesting. However, the way it ended up being combined here is rather creative and makes for some neat segments throughout the stage. The enemy placement also complements these sections pretty well in most cases, since they're typically not so easy to dispose of from a distance, if you're going Buster only at least. Well, that being said, I felt the stage did start to drag its feet a bit toward the end. I think the inherent wait time that comes with the slow down top platforms is to blame for that. Granted, the accompanying Platman platforms do add a bit more depth to some of the setups, but the slowness of them can still be an issue. This has felt doubly so if you die or fall off a platform, which is quite easy to do here. That aside, I'd say the only other major issue I had with the stage other than the boss would be the trick to get the magnet beam. I honestly don't see much of a point in going out of your way to get it, seeing as it's not required and you lose it anyway if you happen to die. There's maybe only a few spots where I found it to be useful in this stage, which surprisingly didn't include the end stretch leading up to the boss, mostly because the one part that could have been a problem here, spike ceiling with several top platforms spawning beneath it, has no collision detection for the spikes. Lastly, there's the actual Rockman himself. But before we can get into the fight proper, there's a matter of the cutscene before it. Now, I'm not going to talk the stage points because of the cutscene's presentation or anything along those lines. The way it's done is perfectly fine. What I do have a problem with, however, is that it plays every single time you die to the boss. When I judge this, the devs team hadn't added a universal cutscene skip option yet. I had to go through the whole rigmarole of shooting the fake one, grinding the fake energy element, and mashing through all the dialogue just to get back into the fight. Safe to say, there really should have been something to circumvent this like what other entries had. And at the end of it all, the actual Rockman's fight isn't very good. He has way too many attacks, 8 in total for each of your weapons, but by the end of it, you'll be lucky if you've seen half of what he can do. And some of them have some glaring oversights. The tornado blow equivalent can easily kill you even after the fight is ended by dragging you up to the spiked ceiling, while the laser trident attack seems to require way too precise movements to reliably dodge each time. Overall, this is a very sour note to end the level on. I get the general idea here, but it definitely could have used some more fine-tuning. Koishi. It's a really decent stage with very clever uses of its mechanics. Unfortunately, a few key factors that really didn't sell for me. The rocks are basically repurposed junk blocks with damaging pebbles falling out when you hit them. Subtle, but a neat change. They're especially impressive and clever when in conjunction with the spinning tops create a new stage hazard. I really like the puzzle with the Plantman platforms too. Cheesable with charge shot and weapons aside, I can definitely appreciate the thought process behind making the puzzles. Weapons being pickup unlockables is fine as a concept, but there's one critical thing. You don't get to teach them after death, despite what the text box implies. Considering how much of the stage consists of instant death hazards, it is very easy to lose them. At least they're not strictly necessary to get, but they definitely would help players who were struggling with the stage, especially with the likes of Magnet Beam. The boss is definitely the biggest miss, with its long unskippable cutscene on refights, absurd damage output, 2 health bars, and plenty of tricky attacks that dodge reliably. There are also a few attacks where he even becomes invulnerable. Are you for real? It's funny, yes, that this tiny, unremarkable rockman actually turns out to be as threatening, but that does not excuse a poorly designed boss fight. Yeah, to end the stage in such a fashion, you can see where my frustration and overall disappointment are coming from. The premise and boss concept are creative. Graphics are tidy and professional, animations especially. The slow, methodical feel of the music and gameplay is refreshing. Despite a couple of questionable theming deviations, if you happen to have to include a bird, at least make it a rock, man. All the assets work together in clever and meaningful ways. Challenge design is a strong point. Introductory challenges have a nice kick, and the more complex ones are quite thoughtful, e.g. Wanderbell plus boulder with top plus spikes. Auto-scrolling is a good culmination, though I'd swap the E-Tank for a token. These facets make for a good level, yet I think there's potential here for a great level. Imagine this. Magnet beam lies visible behind the key door. The key is guarded by a mini-boss in a dead-end room. No split paths to confuse you, no need to unlock a weapon just to get through a barrier. Magnet beam can be used immediately to ease challenges and access unreachable areas. Real secret passageways, not just the wall with a missing tile that just looks suspicious. In ways that Rush simply cannot. If you die, the weapon respawns where you found it, like the sign next to it suggests. Imagine further, the level's been thoroughly checked for unsafe screen transitions. Absent spike collision and platform puzzle can be bypassed with a well-placed charge shot. Ensure the level never drags, checkpoints appear every 6 to 12 screens, and the total screen count is around 30. The boss cutscene is skippable after the first time and free of oddities, e.g. creating invisible walls, triggering while paused. The boss has only one health bar, with attack phases that are arranged in a very deliberate order and free of excess visual clutter. Details make all the difference. The fundamental issue with the stage overall is that it is so cramped and slow-moving that it quickly becomes a chore to go through. What might have been minor issues elsewhere quickly become more significant frustrations, given how long the player is left waiting in certain spots. Some aspects of the level are pretty novel, and I like the interactivity between the rocks and top platforms. I like the concept of the bird, but it doesn't fit the architecture of the level. Graphically, the level is fine if a little uninteresting. Why were the weapons locked, and why did it reset on death? I found zero use for either weapon throughout the stage, and with how much backtracking was required, I expected some payoff. Given how much instant death there is in the level, it is not feasible to keep them around. There's something very off-putting and uncanny about the music, probably the sound font you used. I eventually had to mute it. On re-listening, I'm not entirely sure this is your fault. It might be down to just being the wrong sound frequency to trigger a hypersensitive hearing reaction. It's just how these things go sometimes. The default option for bosses is to skip cutscenes after they've been seen once, yet they replayed every time the player died, and they're so extensively long. It just compounds the issue that the boss following is such a difficult and long fight. A single health bar would have made this significantly more bearable. There are a few frustrating attacks, such as the Wily Capsule 7 projectiles and the Tornado and Top platform combo, neither of which is particularly feasible to dodge. The entire fight ends up being a damage race to the player disadvantage. Found the secret. Meh, not a fan. Boink. Scientific progress. Recommend. If there's any simulation I have respect for in this gaudy light show, it's this one. I don't exactly approve of its more violent uses of recycling, but raising any sort of awareness is a start, at least. Beggars can't be choosers. Big Eye. Special thanks to playtesters, Mini Macro, Telhers, Sarisa, Darth, Phazon, Motherbrain, and many others. If I missed you, it's because I have 8 minutes left.
Hey, it's Joe's without shields.
Hi, Proto Man. Okay. Can we break these? No? Okay. I don't know what the deal is. We're probably going to be coming back here.
I'm guessing we're it's actually going to like recycle the level and change the gimmick. Like things are going to be on.
That's my guess.
Whoa! That was a lot of dudes.
Alright team, to comply with the new safety guidelines, I'm posting a summary of this sector here. The map on the right is an overview of this area. Flashing light is you. White zone, as well as the smelting section below the sector, is powered by this generator. The safety searchies find anyone in the white zone will shut off the power and alert the security staff by sirens. As long as they're on, they'll continue to call security over. If an intruder were to reach the red zone, they wouldn't be able to get caught or shut off the alarms. Blue zone is ventilation. It is always powered on. Finally, I must reiterate, since you guys seem to forget, there is no parking in the white zone. But guys, you can also use solar energy at a high power to turn on the machine. Which one of these counts as solar? There's a note attached. Jumping Joe Brony 3111 here. The floppy disk in the siren seems to have been corrupted, so I'll need to reformat it before setting it back up. What? Okay then.
Me right into the pit. Okay. That sure was something. Whoa.
Oof. Oh. Yay.
What? What was that just now?
That was
like
a
weird.
That was a Luigi's Mansion sound effect.
Yay! Can't get out.
Smortacular. Clunk. Oh, nice. Where to now? Woo-bitty!
This way, I guess. That's a big room. Whoa!
What? What?
Oh, hi, Frogger.
Oops. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hi. Rushed coil? Or diet?
Okay.
What?
What? Are we supposed to die after each token? Is that the theme going on? What is happening?
Oops.
I am confused. Is that supposed to happen after every token? What? Sweetie, stop. My confusion is maximum. Yeah.
Yeah, I spawned in at a bad time. E. Alright, well, I'm gonna try and get that. Or you can try and get that. Nice!
What?
I don't know.
But we would have had to die again to get out of there. What is... Is that, like, part of the theme of the recycling? We just...
I guess.
What? It is... Orange. Ow! Ow. E.
Bastion, I'm picking up a strong signal behind this door, but it doesn't have an energy element. On the bright side, there's a lot of scrap metal there. Not usually one to advocate for greed, Bastion, but if you're short on resources, you may want to take a peek.
Oh.
What? Oh.
It's a boss rush. That is...
It seems a little excessive.
A little.
Also, you're about to die.
Bye, energy! You disappeared somewhere. Wait, why did it lock me in the air? I don't think that was supposed to... I don't think he's supposed to stop me from moving in the air. Sweetie, please. Oh, hi. Yes. I'm kind of stuck. Sweetie, let me use my hand. Hi, energy!
Honey woman!
Is there some reason we have to fight all these? Are you okay? Your animations seem to be broken. Like moonwalking. Hi, Anchor.
Oh, hi, Punk. Ooh. Oof! You might want to E-tank, E-tank.
I kind of hate this boss. He is so hard to frickin' dodge. Look at the energy in the corner. Wait. Yeah, wait. No, I was gonna say if he teleported in, but that's a little overkill, I think.
What?
Stop! Stop it! Oh, achievement unlocked.
Sanic!
Okay, a glitch in the level there made unlocked a couple things. What? What the heck was that?
I have no idea. Also, where the heck are tokens 3 and 4?
I don't know.
What?
Oh, this is... Oh, no, this is visually... Oh, no, there's a token coming up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is playing havoc with my, like, brain right now.
I'm fine.
We
gotta
like,
find a switch somewhere. And it's not here. Where is it? Where is it?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Well,
it's a mystery. It just doesn't
maybe
exist.
there's just other ways to go. There's that way.
Okay.
Oh geez, auto scroll. Well, there's some health. I think we got that last token from the boss rush at the end.
No, I think we had it before the boss rush.
Oh, was that weird like thing that I collected down in the pit?
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Is this going to work, or are we going to, oh.
Hey! 1001 Spikes music! And I'm stuck.
What? Oh, you're controlling yourself by shooting. And it's kind of locked me out of joining in too, so.
Can't do much about that. I really couldn't do anything about that.
Ah. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in the background. What is going on?
I think we're supposed to ride something. Except nothing's coming. Here we go. Right, time to ride the skull raft. Oh. That sure took a while to spawn in. This is a really long level, and there are 2 elements?
Oh, man. Yeah, 2 elements doesn't make me want to... Oh, man.
Where is can't find my keys man when you need it?
Couldn't find the keys to this level, I guess.
Double doggo!
That's why Cerberus Man likes this level. Orthus Man!
He's a popper. Roo, roo, roo.
Ay, galagala.
Heely hoodly hobbly hibbly hobbly hoy.
At least there's plenty of checkpoints, I guess?
Yeah. Checkpoints being plentiful is a good thing. Oh no!
That is not a good thing.
Nope. Ooh, 1-up.
Yay, health. Wait, oh.
Yay.
I see another thing down at the bottom here, but glug.
Whee!
There was an element.
All right,
or
let's go
something down this way. Yeah.
What? Okay, I guess we're going up.
I guess. Was that another route that we... Oh, was that when the thing, like, dropped me through the tube? That it kind of... maybe it glitched out there, which means we can't complete this level then? You know when it dropped me through the ceiling of the tube instead of, like... And we're missing an... yeah, we're missing an... Oh, that punt.
Oh yeah, just look at these muscles. I'm huge. You really think you can take me on? Go on, custom chump. It's time to see what metal you're made of.
Immunity? Please don't do that.
Tin cans from Hogan's Alley. Okay.
Now
where the heck is the second element? Is it that the other thing that broke?
I'm guessing it's the thing that broke.
Lovely.
That's my only guess. This is a long level too.
And this level had testers.
I don't know. Hopefully we can find it so we don't have to go through... Like, kind of just like Disappointment Man there. Well, Disappointment Man is the ending of the Elden Ring DLC. Sorry, nothing. I mean, I'd say it's a spoiler, but there's nothing to spoil. It just ends. I mean, don't get your hopes up. That's all I have to say there. The Vine Sauce meme is the appropriate response to that. Sorry, nothing. I'm guessing they just didn't have time.
Bah. Oh hey, it actually works now. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, did it break because of multiplayer, maybe?
Maybe. You better go do the thing.
Wait, no, I was by myself, so... I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of work that went into the backgrounds and all that here. I think it's just slightly, it's definitely too long. It's a long stage.
Alright. Alright.
Assuming this actually works correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. Ow, ow, ow.
Ooh, baby! Alright, now let's see if this works. Yep, okay.
It worked that time.
Question is, where's it going?
The paw is kind of sticking out there.
It just goes here. Where is the other element?
We don't have the map, so... It has to be in, like, that lava place, maybe? But how... that didn't seem to be working. Oh... Luna, quit licking the floor, damn it! What are you doing?
She was being a puppy.
You're gonna get yourself sick!
Whoops.
Whoa!
I was far enough to the left. It wasn't.
Luna, stop licking the floor! Seriously. Oh, there's a different path down on the bottom here,
Yeah, okay.
but we can't get to it.
Maybe we need to wait for the lava to go down? No,
But how
that
do we
doesn't
get
make any
back down?
sense.
Go back down?
No, clearly not. What the heck?
Is it broken? Because I see a thing there. Like, what?
Didn't the stage say there was a way to turn the power off?
We can't, though. It's already too late.
Okay.
I don't... This is... What? I don't want to go back to the entire stage just because we missed one little thing that is not obvious whatsoever. That is bad. I mean, maybe we could turn off up here, but then getting through this mess is going to be a pain. I don't know.
I don't think so, no. Wait, that goes down. Whoops. The world goes down here. What happens?
We have to redo this entire I don't like this. We have to redo this entire level.
Did the judges have anything to say about this? I wish it was a little clearer how shafty. The security mode. Okay, maybe we need to get caught. Yeah, I think we need to get caught.
That's just kind of bad. It's a very long stage, and now we have to redo the whole thing again for a... I said I hate wasting my time, dude. I mean, how are you supposed to know that would lead to a different path, a different way to do stuff? That's very, very not obvious.
Maybe the level designer was counting on the player not being good enough to not get caught the first time.
Maybe, but that still needs to be more obvious.
Yeah, like there's a level in the first MaGMML3, I think, that takes the player to a secret exit path the first time the player dies.
But why would you do that?
It's part of the theme of the level.
Okay.
Oh, that's what turns it on. Alright, now we do the thing. We...
Oh, maybe getting to that... Oops, that token was supposed to happen by turning the power off, and
maybe.
we just...
Backwardsy!
I hear Undertale music.
Yep.
Barely.
It's dummy!
I'm guessing that E plus thing is supposed to be a reference, but I do not know to what.
To Super Mario Advance 4. Almost certainly.
Jeez. This is definitely a lot more damage heavy, this route.
Oops.
Luna, quit licking the floor.
Oh! Huh. More 1001 Spikes music. And yeah, the lava isn't going up.
That could definitely be stated a bit more, obviously, I think, but...
Ooh!
Oh, jeez.
Got it!
Oh,
Now I got it. Ooh.
Quit licking the floor, for crying out loud!
Doggo, please.
Don't have money to be taken into an emergency vet! Why are you licking the floor? Stop it!
It tastes good.
She's doing it for attention, I think. It's like a toddler. floor licker.
Oops.
I...
Battletoads!
Not even Battletoads, it just doesn't respond very well. Trying to hit the jump, but I didn't jump. The jump didn't jump. The shoot, but the jump didn't jump, and jump and stuff.
What? I can't back up.
I know you can't. That's part of the gimmick in here, kind of, sort of thing. I think that glitched right there. Wait, this is a checkpoint now? But it wasn't before!
Okay then.
What? Ah! What is going on with the screen? How do you get through this?
Freeze! Nope, apparently not. What?!
I don't know how you get through this. There doesn't seem to be enough, like, timing to get through this. It's not... I don't think this is working correctly. Sweetie, do not unfocus the game. I really don't think this is working correctly, because it's like... There we go. It kind of feels like now that I can move forward faster again. Oh my god. This is awful.
Yes.
This is just plain awful. Thank you, sweetie. Get off the keyboard. Get off the mouse.
Ooh.
This is a very bad section. I can't tell if it's breaking or what's going on. I can't move forward! Something is wrong here! I can't move forward fast enough to dodge anything. This is awful! That was awful. What the heck? Oh, we have a mini boss after that too. Great. Don't do that again. Like, why? I can't tell if that's the engine going wrong. Wait, but we only had... I guess we just have to get to the end and it'll be a different boss?
Yeah, I think so. Dr. G! And that is why. Roll.
Hello, anyone there?
Boomero!
What's the yellow devil? Ow. Oh, it's the Wily 3 robot, kind of.
Too bad we don't have top spin.
That's gonna take a long time to kill that thing. Wow. Why was my... Wait, oh, that's because you too? I was like, wait, suddenly it's a blue Rui? Like, I guess that would almost fit Bastion's color scheme? But that was Susie changing her stuff, I guess. Okay, that definitely works. Wait, what hit me? There wasn't anything there. What?
Yeah.
Ah! Ah! The little... The tells for when the blocks were
Yay!
dropping. Those tells weren't showing up. It was hard to tell.
And my laptop fell asleep. There we go.
What do we
Plushies.
Air tiki! It's not safe to stand on this plushie in midair. Well, it certainly was. Wait, why was I moving? Oh, you were moving.
The keyboard.
Yeah.
I admit, you got me with that first impression. It starts out underwhelming, not badly designed, but it feels lifeless. If that's the point, it doesn't take long to realize something lurking beneath the surface. For that, I applaud this level. The atmospheric design is excellent, especially with its variety of music for the multiple modes. Speaking of which, the 2 modes gimmick is interesting to me, like a more involved version of Dark Mantis' stage. I wish it was a little clearer how to shut off the alarms, but otherwise it's really cool how this makes the same level feel radically different. The power mode is where most of the movement gimmicks are, and as a whole, it's pretty fun. Wreckman makes excellent use of conveyor belts and junk chutes, introducing them through the startup and continuing through the surprisingly easy crusher mode.
Luna doesn't care.
The addition of magnets and fan fiends are also great for mixing things up, keeping the level from feeling too generic. The incinerator section was a bit awkward, owing to the odd syncing issue with the junk chutes. Additionally, the lava chase and gravity set shenanigans felt out of place. Didn't give a lot of chance to get used to the gimmick before it tries to kill you and then vanishes. More prominently, if you grab the ventilation token, the fan fiends will become a rude surprise, and you'll need an extra playthrough for the E-coin. Otherwise, though, this path worked excellently. The security mode, it could have worked. Flipping the stage from platform to combat sounds like a neat idea, and it helps make the repeat run feel distinct. But it would work a lot better if the security had some actual variety. Low enemy variety works in power mode, only the supplementary gimmicks, but the jumping Joe Brony isn't interesting enough to handle an entire level by himself. There are segments without Joes that use other enemies, but they're essentially mid-filler in comparison. It is shorter than the powered path, which is a small Murphy, and the jet ski in the incinerator was breathtaking. But it doesn't make up for how low the variety was. The second run was easily the most boring part. Fortunately, both boss fights are up there with the power mode. Wreckman has exactly the sort of variety I'd like to see, and it got a kick out of the numerous NES game references. I'm also pretty okay with his healing ability since the player can stop it easily. The junk hunk is easily the highlight of his route. His standard behavior is a nice variation on the Keeper, but it's the junk rain that sticks out to me. I appreciate how the first phase is 100% telegraphed since it teaches the player reliably. Once it gets below half health, it takes off the kid gloves and challenges your combat skills directly. It's an ideal balance between being considerate and tough, which rounds out to an excellent, if a little lengthy, challenge. I like the ideas presented here, and I feel this would be excellent with some extra polish. However, the Joe abuse on the security path really drags down the experiences, something I'd advise adjusting.
The bike segment, I can't tell if that's because it was multiplayer, something breaking with not letting us move, or what that was, but...
This is another level that I'm really torn on. It's a mixed bag of things I liked and things I didn't care for, with both meshing together to make for a somewhat odd stage. If you're anything like how I was when I first played this and you're confused by the way the map works based on the in-level description, don't be. It's actually pretty easy to follow once you figure it out. Essentially, the path you end up on during the second half of the stage is determined by whether or not you get spotted by the searchy enemies. It also turns off certain gimmicks like conveyor belts and crushers, but adds more enemies that appear throughout the first half of the stage. It's a really interesting mechanic that has a good amount of depth and replayability. The problem here is that the room layouts are pretty middling. There's not many that stand out, save for a few, such as the token challenge that has you sliding past enemies all upside down. I think the enemy placement is a big contributor to this. There's several sections all throughout the level where the enemies pose little to no threat, mostly thanks to how you can pick them off from afar without putting yourself in any danger. This is especially noticeable in some of the rooms right after the Rising Lava segment, where you can cheese 2 of the 3 Twin Dog mini-bosses this way. Thankfully, no such exploits are possible with the main bosses, but I do have mixed feelings about both of them. Wreckman is a decent fight for the most part, but I really question why he has 2 healing moves. Although I can at least understand the logic behind the suction attack healing him, I can't say the same for his dash move. As for the junk hunk, I found his battle a bit boring by comparison. Considering the obvious source behind some of his attacks, he really does feel like a slightly more beefed up version of Strike Man City Boss, just with more falling blocks and fewer soccer balls. Granted, that doesn't automatically make it a bad fight, though I find him less engaging compared to Wreckman himself. Even with these flaws, I still at least found the level to be pretty interesting and rather memorable. If some of the enemy placement was adjusted to make things more interesting, more engaging, this would have easily scored a lot higher with me. I'ma wreck you. I like the stage's concept, how it handles splitting the stage into two different paths by whether or not the player triggers the alert, in which certain stage elements are toggled to lead the players into the right paths. It's a really unique way to handle it. But alas, the stage is ultimately brought down due to how it tries to fit in way too much stuff, lengthening the playtime and overstaying its welcome. Some pointless stuff, for example, is the boss gauntlet. You get an M-Tank as a reward while you're already getting all the ammo and health pickups from the bosses themselves. Also, the M-Tank despawns after a while. Great reward! Another example is, well, the death pits. Yeah. Since there's no clear indication of whether a pit is death or progression, all the fumbling does add up to the frustrations over time. The longer length also makes it a problem if you didn't mean to trigger the alarm. Unlike a certain other entry, which also may involve alarms, the alarm persists through resets and deaths, meaning you'll need to restart the whole stage from the beginning to turn it off again. The stage would have definitely been more pleasant to go through if it were just centered around just the two paths, since the stage is fairly linear otherwise, without the extra path leading to tokens. It would help condense down the stage length as well. Wreckman. I don't know what REC stands for. Upon looking up what a REC is, it either stands for record, recreation, or receipt. None of them fits what the stage is about, neither.
Recycling!
Derp-a-derp-derp-a-derp-a-derp-derp.
That's why he was throwing, like, bottles and, like, bouncing, like, plastic and stuff.
Yes, I understood that right away. Wrestling-themed Robot Master.
What? All the references are lost on Apache here.
He's an okay fight, I guess. The true hassle was really on how to get to him in the first place. The post-boss Junk Golem was easier to stumble upon because it's part of the alarm path. A single level can only sustain so many ideas before it starts to collapse under its own creativity and load times. Such is the case with the straightforward, story-driven, action-packed, puzzle-oriented, magnetic, gravitic, molten stealth, maze, fortress, junkyard boxing match, which was exhausting to judge. Individually, each section is a focused, thoughtful progression of clever ideas that work well together. Major shortcomings are usually limited to one per section. These include brutal challenge introductions, e.g. immediately combining new movement-altering gimmicks, repetition, e.g. nothing but trash turds until generator, missing spike collision, a nauseating combo of continuous scrolling and platforms moving in two directions, and an alarm gimmick that makes the level considerably easier when triggered. Collectively, these sections overwhelm and confuse me. It's so unclear which way to go. Play progresses in random directions with frequent splits, and there's no way to tell whether getting in fast is the way forward, the end of another path, or a bottomless pit. The map and imprecise instructions are only so helpful, and completely missable if you break dash through the junk blockade. It's frustrating and thoroughly unclear that your final path choice is determined much earlier in the level, unless you unwisely break into the upper path with Magnet Beam. Aesthetically, the tokens make no sense to me. Level is at its best when it appears straightforward challenge with visual spectacle. The auto-scrolling elevator section is simple but memorable. Conveyoring through gorgeous piles of junk, perhaps being ambushed by novel Joes is neat. Notwithstanding some unfortunate collision issues, the Junk Golem boss is a blast. Riding a wave bike through a graphically dazzling smelting furnace is awesome. The optional boss gauntlet, despite being rendered impotent by magnetic shockwave, is one of my favorite things in this contest. If this were more linear and trimmed down to only the strongest, most thematically cohesive sections, this would be top tier material. As a football pundit would say, this truly is a game of two halves. When the level is on, it is so full of unnecessary things that the player's engagement is quickly lost. On the other hand, when turned off, the level is thoughtful, well-paced, and pretty enjoyable.
Okay.
The initial map screen and signs were a failure. They promised the level to be extremely long, not necessarily a good thing, complicated and present too much all at once. Hiding crucial information in a long comical reference is not a good idea, as I zoned out and completely missed the fact that I could turn off the facility by turning on the alarms. It gives a negative impression right at the start of the level, which carries with the player moving forward. A lot of the individual segments on both paths are pretty good and were designed in a novel manner, and everything is introduced well, highlight being the anti-gravity section. However, there were so many new gimmicks introduced and only used once that the level feels quite a mess with the facility on. The level is very visually loud, with lots of animation and moving objects, confusing the eyes. In contrast, the slower pace of the level when the facility is off felt more natural and less overwhelming. The second version of the level, feeling so different despite using almost exactly the same layout, was very impressive. I'm not entirely sure if I accessed it in the correct manner, as the brake dash can interact with the blocking junk piles at the start of the stage, meaning you never turn on the facility, but testing later showed that very little change with the alarms. The music choices were poor overall. The Mega Man 10 track Silent Rain was designed to be used on 4 screens. It is a short, repetitive, low-energy track and was never designed to be used in such long segments. The rest of the music being so generic, put a pin in that, did not help, and the music failed to match the atmosphere of the level. Really?
Okay.
I hard disagree.
Yeah, like, I had no problem with the music, but...
Okay, so about that pin, to clarify, Undertale music isn't exactly generic, but it's all about context. A very repetitive boss scene designed for a relatively short fight in an RPG being used in a rather long level does it no favors in making it sound more repetitive than it is. A boss rush thrown in the stage is an utter waste of time. Man, this might just be my least favorite part of the level. I just despise this edition.
Such contrast between the judges, jeez.
I fought all these bosses so many times already. We have an arena. Does this add anything to the level? No, it does not. Let's do something else for 5 minutes breaks any flow the stage has, even if it is ultimately an optional section. It should not be included for the sake of it. Show some restraint, please. That said, the 2 original bosses were interesting. Wreckman felt very disconnected from the level, especially due to the Punch-Out background. I guess it just took far too long to realize the connection to the level, as it looked like random projectile graphics. Again, the background suggested some other connection. The fight was pretty good otherwise. You'd think the random invincibility phase would bug me, but this kind of worked. The Junk Devil felt like it had more thought put into it. The pattern was quite long between being able to hit the boss, but it was an interesting, learnable pattern that kept the player thinking. Turning off the rumble at the top of the screen halfway through the fight was a really nice touch. Alright, I need water. Also, there's a big eye or something here. Oh hey, it's you again! After my success teaching ballet on the Elroy, I tried my hand at teaching tap dancing instead. You can see where things went wrong. So now several lawsuits later, I'm trying to make ends meet with this new OSHA-compliant job. Finally, a chance to get away from my supervisor and be the thingamabob I've always wanted to be! 60th place, Super Heavy Samurai Big Ben K. Oh, never mind that. I need water. Baby. Oh, baby, baby, baby.
I should rather refill my water too. And let Lakota out, as long as Luna stops barking at him. And she's only been doing what I've been screaming, so. There you go, Cookie, come out. I would just keeping Luna from touching you. Look at the mess you're making over there. All the stuff is being poured out again. Lou, you're crusty. What do you got on you? You got crusty on the side. What is that crust? What is that crust? you like roll into one of the pots or something that was smoking? And did you roll into like the hamburger helper pot? Is that what happened? Speak well. Or forget. Hamburger. Hamburger. Okay, there we go. Reorganize. Say hi to your cat. Not for kittens. Move.
Whoops.
Rusty kid. Rusty kid. You are covered in stuff. Only one side of you. One little spot. Get by your butt. Here you go, good girl. There's no fleas or anything on her. She just rolled in the food. Roll into the food. Clean it out. Clean it out? Know what's wrong? Clean it out? There we go. You need it out. Now what we can do, start the level at least before they start borking. What is the thing that we need? This level is super heavy samurai Big Ben person thing is.
Big Ben K.
Ben K. What is Ben K from anyways?
Japanese mythology.
Oh, that's Benki.
Hey, did you know you can shoot through the Benkei's spear but only when it's shot? Because I didn't know until making this
That's why.
level.
Tanuki bot, kind of.
Oh yeah, kind of. I was misreading the Tanuki snout as a big eye looking down. Aha. Ah!
Ow. Well, that sure doesn't work multiplayer. Oh no.
Oof. Yay.
I would have given you the health, but I slid into the screen and fell, so. Uh-oh.
Ah! Dang it.
Undertale music reminds me somebody is played. Oh, okay, all the way through Chapter 4 of Deltarune already, so it sounds like it's getting ready to come out.
Cool.
They're just waiting for that one like Game Maker update, and then a new newsletter will release afterwards. And there's a Fortnite freaking crossover with Undertale.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's a freaking Fortnite of all things. Freaking spamped in Neo.
I mean, Spamton was definitely the breakout character of Chapter 2. Come up from below, I guess. Somehow.
Memes,
So why I believe in seesaws? Because I like them. Simple as that. They seem like a pretty interesting gimmick, although putting them too close to a wall messes them up and potentially crashes the game. The spears are just recolored Waveband steams. It's going for something like the Burnerman spears, but, well, the back coating, I don't really know how to have the spears pop out of the wall. Can't draw either, so the spears would look weird anyways. They still look pretty weird in that 3H. Little enemies are just cam on reskins. Does look weird, I know. Kind of made them looking like a Shogun helmet, but yeah, names are simply Shogun. It's not very powerful for one, eh? I don't know when I got the idea to use something related to the story of Benkei in my level, but here it is. I wanted to do something more for the Benkei boss, but I couldn't couldn't get the code to work out the way I wanted to. With the deadline drawing near, I decided to just copy Yamato Man's code. Guess what else I can't do? Draw. So Benkei sprite looks kind of iffy in a lot of areas. I offer my sincere apologies. By the way, Super Heavy Samurai Big Benkei is the name of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Not that it really means much here. Komuso Man is here because it was said that Ushiwaka Maru, known as Minamoto Yoshitsune in his adulthood, played a flute when he met Benkei Musashibo. Komuso Man, while he's not based on Ushiwaka Maru, does have a flute, so there's that. I wonder how the spears in his room go away after he dies, but for some reason it messes him up and just makes him stand there. Not sure what causes it.
Ah!
What?! Okay then! There we go.
Skip! That a speedrun skip? What is that?
It is a Mr. T.
This seems like it'd be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, this one falls.
Oop. I have no idea how to magnet beam. That's why I never use it. Yay! Mew.
Cooter's borked. He wants back in.
Okay. He says bork. Puppy says
We're
bork.
missing a token.
It's above us.
Okay. Up.
Bork, bork, borky, bork, bork. Bork, borky, bork.
Oh, hey, dogs, dogs, dogs. Here we go.
Kirby 64?
That was a bit of lag there. Oh, at least there's a checkpoint after the boss. How did I get hit from screen transition? Well... I have no health.
Yay!
That is a lot of things on the floor.
That sounds like Return to Dreamland music.
Is this like a time limit before the arena fills? What's going on?
Yay!
It's like a time limit to the boss for some reason.
First thought, while I like the music here, it feels unnecessarily epic for a normal level. It might just be me though, so it's not a huge deal. The basic theme is obvious. It's a Ben K level, which means a lot of spears and apparently seesaws. Interesting enough concept, and the level plays well. The seesaws are creative highlights, but particularly when they're mixed with the spears. Even without that, moments like the falling seesaws are highlights, challenges they don't normally see. The spears themselves just tend to just guard ladders with very little deviation, but at the same time, if the setup ain't broke, don't fix it. Might not tickle my fancy, but I appreciate the practicality regardless. Plus, the spear's spike drop was kind of cute, so while I can't call the implementation creative, it's not like the spears are boring. Sadly, the enemy design is underwhelming at best. The core issues are underutilized, which is a crying shame for the Shigarakis and the custom samurai guys, even if the latter seem a little out of place graphically. Even when they do appear, how they're used rarely stands out, leaving me wanting more than I got. Ben K is much more utilized, but that comes at the cost of a rather awkward seesaw fight. The bosses aren't much better than the enemies. Gamarn and Gamadayu are shut down entirely by their rune design. The shame is that would have been a neat challenge, and Kamuso Man's center timer takes so long to activate that it may as well not work at all. The Big Ben K himself, much like his minions, he's much more fun than the others. Especially with the functioning timer posing a real threat. That said, if he's supposed to be special, he should really look the part. The sex in general seem to be a weak point here, and most of the creative implementation is limited to the seesaws. But all things considered, I think this is a solid start. Good work. As an aside, I appreciate the little tip about Ben K. I keep forgetting that's a thing about them here. There are two major compliments I can give to this level. The first being the choice of music. Even though it's a bit loud, it did end up making the level a bit more memorable for me. The second is that it has very solid ideas, which in theory should make for an interesting stage. That being said, I found this level to be rather lacking. There's some decent setups with the seesaw platforms here and there, but for the most part I didn't find them to be all that engaging on account of most of the segments being too easy. Through with the Gamarn and Gamadaya bosses, any boss in particular, had the potential to be an interesting challenge, but it's ruined by the fact that he tosses his bombs off screen, meaning you only need to look out for the occasional laser attack. Other times, the rooms can just be tedious, such as the climb to get the second to last token. There's no enemies or hazards to get in your way, just semi-tight platforming on seesaws where the only punishment is having to redo some jumps if you miss. The stage only really comes alive during the last few sections, with the final run up to the boss being the only really engaging and actually threatening segment. As for the boss itself, well, it's Yamato Man, but reskinned to a Benkei. While he still has his specific animation cues for his attacks, he comes across as very janky looking when he actually moves. The spears that steadily appear from the walls could have been an interesting way to spice up the fight, and by extension the Komuso Man battle before. But you have to intentionally let the battle drag on for a very long time for them to become a threat. Like I said, the foundation of a decent level is here. The choice of gimmicks and their combinations have a good amount of potential behind them. It needs a lot more polish in the difficulty curve department. Sakura's Spirit, Honorary Duel. I like the use of the music here, definitely fitting to the Japanese theming of the stage with fine usage of the Yamato Man tiles. Pretty fine stage as far as the gimmicks are concerned. The seesaw platforms are utilized well and have a decent amount of variety with their pathing. They also integrate into the stage design quite seamlessly. I also really like their combination with the spears, making the player be wary of the way they are positioned at the right time to not get poked. Some of the jumps later on can look dangerous, but they are ultimately not that bad, as they still have a decent leniency to have you make the jump. I think there's an oversight with the frog mini-boss in the token passes. You can just shoot it in the eyes from your initial standing position, without needing to jump down to the platform below, which would normally be a lot more dangerous to fight on. I enjoyed a clever added complexity of needing to position a seesaw at the right point in the 5th token session. The Benkei boss has a simple pattern. I like the added tension of the bamboo traps that begin filling up the arena the longer the fight goes on. A pretty clever way to implement a time urgency. Okay, snarky pants, you can crack wise about inauthentic projectile behavior all you want, but it's no substitute for pestering the dev team until they fix it. So, there's a little wry humor, a fun remix of familiar music, and brightly colored graphics that immediately set the tone for a playful level. Strong theming pulls together several decidedly Japanese elements. The cherry blossoms and little samurai dudes don't quite fit seamlessly with the visual style of the other assets, but everything works together to create an experience that feels fairly original. Every section has an obvious gameplay focus, and it's clear whenever something new is being introduced. Some challenges are more successful than others, and most crumble when exposed to special weapons. Token challenges are consistently easier than the rest of the level. The seesaw shaft is more tedious and tricky, and the frog mini-boss can be dispatched safely from the ledge. The Komuso Man fight is over before the extra hazards become at all hazardous. However, both seesaw sections on the main cast just keep getting better as they go, and the Shinai shaft is a pleasant twist on this traditional spike drop. I have some nitpicks with the audio mounts. Small details in the tire work, rough stonework, missing drop shadows, seesaw arms blending in with the background, the ugliness of overlapping objects, and one potentially fatal screen transition, among other things. The boss is a smart conclusion to this short level. I only wish he weren't so susceptible to break dash and had a more dynamic jumping animation. It's like he's stuck in face-up attack position or something. Did I get the reference right? I'm hip with the kids these days. Destroying the room hazards when the boss dies is a professional touch. Some good ideas and design instincts on display here. I actually did not know about Benkei, no. Some stages have an upkill battle since they use inherently generic or just plain objectively poor ideas. And yet others have a subjective battle. Couldn't be upfront, the platforms in Blade Man stage are quite possibly one of my least favorite Mega Man gimmicks in the mainline series, resulting in one of my least favorite stages. It also makes use of a rework of the spear gimmick from Burner Man, another one of my least favorite segments in Mega Man. So it's quite an accomplishment that this stage works for me. Not only does it sidestep the annoyance factor that Blade Man stages radiated, by gum, you made some good work with it. There's a certain flow this level offers. Nailing the timing results in clear progress. and the normally repetitive nature of the gimmick is severely lessened by using it more as a temporary platform rather than a travel method. I'm also honestly surprised the bamboo cane gimmick works as well as it does. Despite no visual indication, the pattern is obvious enough that it never comes as a surprise when it pops out. The player gets to rely on gut instinct rather than memorizing a timing. The static nature of it suits the Blayman platform better than the weird, wavy enemies from the source stage. Good checkpoint placement and that most of the platform rooms are short alleviate the repetition further. I like the aesthetics of the stage. It's not particularly pretty, and the new sprites are honestly very amateurish and clashing. But it has a good personality and a fitting atmosphere, so it's forgivable. A great music track helps a ton. The end boss is a simple edit of Yamato Man, but like some of the other simple edits, it still means the stage ends on a mechanically original fight. Even small bits of effort here can go a long way and are appreciated. I'm not sure the bamboo spears were needed in either boss, though. All in all, I think this did a good job. Won't set the world on fire, but sometimes it's nice to play a simple stage. Boss time, probably. What's this? Okay. Alright, not boss time. What is Galaxy Man doing? Get over here. Whee! Okay.
Yep, that's
Outrun Woman by Silver Europium.
Shinryu didn't like this all. Yep, plant level.
Watch it!
Raffle bots, oh no.
Thank you.
Yeah, the bugs definitely fit the theme. Mets are just anywhere, I guess. Music's in a remix, and
Oh, it's an ice wall thing, I guess. But yeah, using a magnet beam is way safer.
Ah, yeah. Lag. Well, that sure happened.
Yeah!
Whoa, that's awful. I mean,
the bugs kind of clashed a little bit with the black background. Did you notice?
ow, 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 ow. That's a lot of flower dudes.
Okay.
Okay, bye. There we go. Water the plant. And again, it's a robo plant, so I guess. Uh-oh. Really good at. Darn it, lag!
I have no idea how to magnet beam.
Ah!
Okay, sure. Just that was Rush Bike, I think. Oh boy.
Oh no! No!
Alright, I'm just gonna stay on the ladder.
Don't have enough weapon energy to do that again.
Use a tank.
I guess it was waiting for you. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to use a tank because that's not enough energy.
Tough. What's up, Coots? Alright, I'm staying on the ladder this time.
So there's some weapon energy, I guess.
We have so many bolts.
Don't really necessarily have a use for them, so. Hiya! Checkpoint! Yes, it was waiting for you again. That is it. Guess we're just gonna have to ignore that, I guess. Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Sweetie, no! Darn it, cat! How do you always manage to, like, step right on the mouse and unfocus things? Oh, come on! It just don't work in multiplayer. Don't know who they're going to work for or who they're not going to work for.
Oh boy. It's Wenny Weedy Wiki.
Oh, it's a spike fall.
They can at least see on the way up. Not a problem.
Wow. From behind. Oh no. Nah. I'm gonna die. Sweetie! I can't see. Oh my god, cat. Stop changing my weapon! I don't want to change the weapon!
Cat percent! Up for an M tank. He got you!
That is just bad. Like, come on, man. Great.
Bugger. Bye. Ah! Go, go, go! Ooh.
I'm almost dead again. Jeez.
Okay.
Really?
Hello, little chum!
Dating the game. You can tell how long ago this level was made. To ice, huh? Oh, she's doing the symphony. She's doing the Castlevania attacks.
Okay. And now she's dead. Hey, Amatsu.
Yo, we keep finding ways to break it in multiplayer. Completely destroying gimmicks and stages.
When I first started, I admit I wasn't interested. It had some neat enemies and the design felt alright. I can't say it drew me in. However, as the level kept going, it grew on me like a fungus, and I found myself having a good time. The core assets are very simple, to the point it doesn't seem like much, but on closer examination, there's more to this than expected.
What kind of fungus are growing on you to give you a good time? Toad man?
One of the level's big weaknesses is its simplicity. Between the standard issued enemies and largely seamless gimmicks, the level seems boring. However, the individual assets are more impressive than expected. Flower Joe is less frustrating and more interesting than regular Joes, and not just because he can stand out of your range while still being a threat. Use of jumpy mets over regular ones opens a lot of extra scenarios, with their enemy combos being a highlight. And while the platform gimmicks and the boutons might not feel like much, I found their final challenges worked pretty well. The likely reason for the initial boredom factor is that the level's a slow burn. The mets and Flower Joes do well at mixing things up early, but the rest of the assets start off very basic. Not poorly designed, but they don't provide an interesting hook, not until the level gets spiky. Normally this wouldn't work to a level's advantage, but the platforming is just easy enough to make the punishment fair, especially with the checkpoints. I also found I really liked the spike drop token. Seeing it in advance was a neat twist. As a particular good point, Jet Bouton's final appearance had a perfect twist to make the endgame uniquely challenging, without diving headfirst into gimmicks we'd never seen before. I'm also disappointed that was the only one room, since it made everything so much more fun for me. At the same time, I'm glad it didn't overstay its welcome. Constant bug attacks would easily annoy someone less patient. Finally, we have bosses. The spinning flower took some getting used to, mostly because of the spikes, but he's a decent preview for some of the boss. As for Alron Woman herself, she was unique. I didn't expect a completely immobile boss, let alone one that didn't use a shield, but she compensates with high range and speed, making the fight more frantic than expected. That said, I wish the RNG was balanced better. I don't think I saw a spread shot until the second or third time I battled her, which is a bit iffy since that's her most interesting attack. Overall, this was a nice level. The beginning portion was a bit on the boring side, but by the end things had picked up nicely. Solid job if you ask me.
You kind of pulled an unintentional kung pao there. Okay. Wee wee wee. No. What did that get you making noise for, Luna?
She wants a feature-length YouTube poop. This was decent-ish, I think. Admittedly, I struggled a bit on where exactly the place is, since while it had some good platforming challenges near the end, a large chunk of this level ended up being relatively unmemorable for me. That being said, it plays mostly fine. Enjoyed most of the token rooms for how they make you use your weapons to get around the layouts. See for that last one, which was just a small memorization and spike drop segment. There are some decent platforming challenges toward the ending segments as well, although I can't actually say I was fond of the actual lead up to the boss. Respawning beetles come in a little too quickly, and you can easily blindside you when first entering a room. On the other side, the rest of the level just kinda existed for the most part. There wasn't anything in there that stuck out to me as bad, save for me the noticeably different black borders around certain background tiles. But there's nothing all that memorable either, at least up to the boss anyway. All-Around Woman herself seems fine for a stationary boss, which is something you don't really see all that often in these stages, or even fan games as a whole, outside maybe Fortress bosses. I think the general idea behind her could definitely work out if she had a little more variety in her attacks, as she only has 3 relatively basic ones. I'd certainly be interested to see a more involved version of this fight, though, that's for sure. Overall, there's some decent ideas in here, but the stage itself ended up feeling a bit too generic in my eyes. Don't get lured by deceiving pretty appearance! Overall, decent level. It's a little on the easy side, except for one part with a very precise jump you have to do. It has a checkpoint right before it, but it's still on a rather unnatural difficulty spike. Perhaps the stage elements were not squeezed to their full potential, making the level feel somewhat incomplete and easy as a result. Even the final section felt very tame despite the respawning beetle charters, while it was supposed to serve as the final challenge of the stage. Some oddities I've noticed. There's a part where you can exit right on a screen with spikes on the floor. Said part also has a 2-way transition, which can put the player back to spikes on the previous screen. Another part of the level where there's an opening to the left of the screen, but there isn't a room there. There are 2 shades of black with the background tiles that make them stick out. The tokens are all easy to find, as the paths to them are easily identified through mostly being only accessible with weapons. The challenges to get them feel generic. Basically, use such and such a weapon to get to the token. All-Around Woman is a pretty decent boss, though kind of non-threatening. Her attacks do too little damage. I finished her off quite easily the first time, coming in with only partial to full HP. I do like the detail of the aerial pedal projectiles having different sprites to turn their spread pattern. But it's hard to distinguish how small the sprites are and the flashing they do. The vines spurting from the ground are a little thin to make them stand out enough from the closely colored grassy background. This is exactly the kind of level I expect from this contest. One that's willing to try new things yet rooted in the classic Mega Man formula. One with forgivable flaws that are straightforward enough to correct. One with enough good points to be worth a recommendation.
It's an apple. You don't get the pineapple. That took a year to grow that pineapple. You were not eating it, Luna.
The challenges have a sense of structure, with new elements introduced and then combined at a steady pace, and with distinct challenge arcs roughly coinciding with transitions between indoors and outdoors. Checkpoints and power-ups don't always align optimally with these arcs, but they're sufficiently frequent. Challenge introductions are either perfectly fair, e.g. flip platforms, or more often likely to blindside the player, e.g. the medal at the boss gate. I have some reservations about the aesthetics, as some of these colorblind, the color and texture choices make it hard for me to readily distinguish foreground from background in some places, such as the ice wall token screen. Also, it feels like there are 2 different graphical styles competing for primacy, one more traditionally Mega Man and one more freehand drawing. I do like the attention to detail though, e.g. the vines and flowers. The music fits, but it's not my favorite rendition of Slash Man. The boopity-doops over assert themselves. The token challenges are easily the best part of the level. I appreciate the thoughtful appreciation of special weapon. I appreciate the thoughtful application of special weapons, as well as being able to see a spike drop in advance. Other challenges range from exciting, avoiding the respawning jet Bhutan, to messy, great mini-boss but too aggressive too quickly, to underwhelming, the screen that's randomly just ladders. Technically, the level is mostly solid. There's soft lock potential at the flip platform checkpoint since you can spikes you can backtrack into, and a glaring exploit in the fight with all-around women. Try standing behind her. Overall, good effort and fun to play.
Yeah.
Simple, fun, straightforward level. Occasionally it's nice to just go through a basic Mega Man romp, and this is what the vast majority of stages consist of in the official games, after all. What few mechanics that are...
Careful.
What?
It's Luna being the move.
Luna Puppy. What few mechanics that are there felt explored well enough. The combination of the flip platforms from Mega Man 6 and Concrete Man's arrow platforms suit each other? As always, I am a fan of tokens that primarily just rely on paying attention, and as suitable rewards for exploring suspicious passageways. The first two challenges are easily bypassed with Mag Beam, but after literally hundreds of stages with some overly complex tokens within them, I'm frankly glad to find some levels that allow multiple solutions. The new Joe variant is frankly one of the better ones in the contest, often acting as a legitimate obstacle rather than a usual time sink. An arcing shot is more interesting to dodge, and the time that Joe is vulnerable for is way more lenient than it looks. It's rare that Joe use doesn't make me want to bust out Laser Trident. Final Room has the potential to be fun, but I think you really need to add some sound cues to the Mega Man 6 Beatles. As it stands, they have a tendency to nail the player out of nowhere. I'll give props for the attempted all-around woman. While she's pretty easy, I'm amazed that you managed to make a stationary robot master not completely uninteresting, and she's a suitable cap to the level. The level is tiled well, but also looks rather unpolished at the same time. This is the first time in the contest that a tile set using off blacks is so noticeable to be distracting. Unfortunately, there's few issues holding it back. Some of the vertical rings practically beg for utility use, as they are rather tedious to cross without them. In contrast to the Joes, the mats feel like afterthoughts, several despawning themselves as they would jump off screen. The odd mini-boss feels rather half-baked. Not bad, but just missing something. All said and done, the level overall feels like one of the middling Capcom stages, which still puts it ahead of many levels of the contest. Not a bad time. If it was more polished and experienced Titan, it could have elevated the stage further. Nope. Woody! Dance! Hey! I suggested we needed more disco. This wasn't what I had in mind. Dance! Tier 10 boss by Ganio.
Who are we gonna be fighting? DJ Man?
Yep.
Sound Man!
I guessed exactly what I need. You there, darling. Are you interested in something groovy? I don't really consider fighting to be groovy. Not with that attitude. Both fighting and dancing are all about choreography and rhythmic movements.
Yep,
Is this going to be Uncle Denmark again?
Who is that? Is that a Pac-Man ghost in the background?
Maybe. Memorizing patterns to move with them in time.
Is Luke DJing?
Fighting or dancing? Same difference. Difference is I don't fight for pleasure.
What are you talking about, Susie?
Come on, man. Don't bring the beat down. You got better moves than the other tournament competitors. Thunder Man and Freeze Man just figure skate everywhere. Top Man only spins non-stop. Toad Man does some weird thing with his belly. But I can tell when someone's got some fancy footwork. Join the groove and the next song's on me. I guess I can groove by striking poses between attacks. That's the spirit. You got a track preference?
What do we want?
I'm kind of curious about first MIDI. Good taste. Now let's get the party started.
No, it's a jukebox. This is kind of chaotic with 2 players.
Woo! What? Psh. Oh, that was silly.
It actually used the spin sprites for something. Uh-oh, the party's over.
I was hired to be the host of this concert, but apparently some rising star with the same name got here first. Normally I'd be set for getting shafted. Like contracts say, so I get paid as long as there's not a substantial refund demand. So I'm getting paid to just stand here now. Oh, hi, Proto Man. Sorry, I don't particularly feel like dancing. I thought I saw someone pretending to be my old alias. No, well, perhaps I'll loose on a simulation with cheats. There's a place where you can buy those. Only a few ranks before it'll open, though. You can't use them in any simulations you haven't already cleared. Remember, Bastion, cheaters never prosper.
Bye. Do we have anything else in here? Nope.
Nope.
We got it all. Oh, you want to go check the lights again here?
Coffee Kitty! Don't assume everyone's rooting for you. Some of us want you to fail. Some of us quietly wish you your doom. Not me, though. I think you're amazing. Could I get an autograph?
Even more is like...
Gone beyond sleepy. Just being near this couch is making you eepy. Kitty. But where is Coffee Kitty?
Get trapped in air vent again? Oh yeah.
Oh! New! Dialogue.
Nope. We already talked to them, I think.
Oh, have we? Quake Woman.
Yeah, Quake Woman.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't talked to the kitty Met over here.
Oh my gosh, is that you, Bastion? I never thought I'd get the chance to thank you in person for like a dozen years. After that whole incident, we made headlines everywhere. We got interviews, they wrote books, we made a concept album about it. You know what they say, Bastion? Girls these days don't cry about their trauma, they monetize it. Though, to be honest, sometimes I worry. As soon as everyone forgets about the SSL Roy incident, will we be forgotten too? Just a flash in the pan?
Come on now, look across the table. That's someone your music personally touched, regardless of your fame. I'm sure there's more like her all over the place.
Jeez, boy, I just can't match your sincerity. The music industry would eat you right up. That's why you're so cool, I guess. I can't be acting as lame in front of you, or my girlfriend might just swoon over you instead.
Bastion does not intentionally cause that.
You're Bastion, right? From the cruise ship incident? Oh my gosh, thank you so much for saving us all back then. That was a real mess. Part of me thought I was going to die. I mean, my trope awareness knew what was up. I was going to be a tragic side character. But it all turned out okay in the end, and I even got a chance to talk and grow close to my... Oh gosh, I still can't say it. If it's still in the pseudo arena, I mean, Nani? Nani? Dating my favorite idol? What if instead the side character... I was the main character all along! I got the best route!
Well, it can definitely be an issue to be too arrogant, but it's nice to think you're the main character of your own life. Thinking like that gives you agency. don't think she's listening. She seems to be daydreaming.
Oh no. There's Coffee Kitty.
Tiger.
76.
Little go. Needs a longer tail. We already talked to you, yeah. Okay. Anybody new here? Oh, there's this jerks. Oh, it's still that, yeah. No. Nothing new. There's more costumes to buy, I guess.
Yes. Let's get some costumes. Yay! Me IRL.
Israel!
Glassman border.
Okay. Nothing else in here then? Anybody new in the casino?
We're not looking for anything in particular, Matsu. Just seeing if anything has changed between tiers.
Anything new, yeah. We got 47.
Alright, so we can buy a bunch of stuff. I don't know.
Step booster.
Step booster.
Faster.
Step booster and trickle charge.
Sure. Revenge burst might be good too, but you. Anybody new here? Bottle breaker is open. Sure. Oh. That's how it works. Oh, jeez. There's 50 of these. These ones are harder to hit.
Hmm.
Whoa! Jeez, that is really hard to hit those ones.
Mm.
Or slim violence.
Hey, you made a profit. Yoku Man. From Mega Man Unlimited.
Esther Albert.
Hey.
Mega Man CX Advent. Okay. Anybody new over here? These are just games, it looks like. Nope. That's the puzzle. That's the quiz dude that we don't know all the answers to yet.
Yeah. Well, Tier 11 is right around the corner, so we'll know that answer at least.
Yep. Oh yeah, want.
Wah.
You're new. Reverse Man.
Man, it was rough trying to get in here. I thought I was a kid in a costume. Can you believe that? What, I think it's Halloween? Came here to gamble. I just so happen to look incredibly cool on top of that.
It's like a dragon man. Where did he from?
Yeah. I was skeptical if this place would live up to the rave concert, but I'm impressed. Flashing lights, spin wheels, colorful passerbys. Now this is a place I can vibe with. Think the manager would allow me to do a set here?
I think if you tried, you could probably get thrown out. Either that, or it'd be totally drowned out by all the electronic noises.
Maybe right. I should have somewhere a little quieter, like a library or something. Sure, they love a little bit of livening up.
I don't think that's...
Tier 11! A library! Oh, there, this is the Grand Library, one of the tournament's many gauntlets. Normally I'd tell you to be quiet in here since, you know, it's a library. But ever since the tournament started and brought so many tourists, I've given up on that. Oh well. And yes, I am the head librarian here. Fight Kikomon for everlasting sauce!
Oh no.
They say that the pen is mightier than the sword, so I came here to learn if that was true. After staying here for a while, I've come to a realization. Why can we not just have both? Everyone should simply write about swords. Would that not combine their powers?
That's a lot of tokens. Wait.
Oh boy, it's Vip and Wall Mix.
This is based on something that I do not know.
It's 2chan.
Uh-oh. Dude, I hope that it's not DMCA music. I really hope it's not DMCA music.
Uh-oh. Retry.
This might be DMCA music. So I'll have to turn that back on later. Sucks that I have the music, but I do not want DMCA either. On Twitch, or if it's like Japanese, like hero music, it is very DMCA-able because Japan really does not like anybody using their stuff. This is so hard to avoid all this.
What?
I immediately hate this level now. We have to redo the whole level. That is just awful. That is just bad. Don't do that. Just no. Why would you put a checkpoint directly underneath that? That's were you doing that on purpose to be an ass? Like what? Why would you do that?
Whatever.
Oh, and there's... Whoa. Alright.
Doraemon? Tanashi.
Eh. Oh, okay. It's still quiet without the music, but again, we do not want... Like, at least Pepsi Man doesn't get claimed, and the Pepsi Man was up with... Pepsi Man is it's also from a video game. With the Pepsi Man! Oh, well, the sprite isn't as grabbable as I thought it was there. There we go. Ow. Oh, it's so dry without music. Shame you gotta protect yourself nowadays on Twitch and stuff for that. I don't know. This doesn't... Okay. That sure was... That sure was something. Okay, darn it, we need some music here, some... Oh, we have all our weapons again. Yay. What? Oh.
Oh, okay. Ah! Oh, okay. Now what? Oh.
I guess we go this way? Puzzles, kind of. Stop that. That's definitely a way to deal with that.
Until it isn't. Hi, fish.
There we go. I think we missed the token. We have to redo the entire level. I do not like this. I don't.
Can we go down?
We do this. No, we can't go down. It was back. See, it's back behind us here. See, we have to redo the entire level. That is bad. Don't do that. Split path, long level, easily missable stuff. You had no idea that you're going to miss it. That's not... DMCA music?
Lol.
Okay, then. Okay, I'll take that. It's waiting for you, I guess. Such a weird glitch. Ah, boy. Ah, that was nightmare in my ears. Oh no, the weird muscle fish flushed the toilet. It's an oddly soothing sound effect coming from the background for that part.
Other way.
Yep, that's right.
What?
What in the hell? I don't understand. Oh! Well, it went off this time, thanks. Huh?
Oh.
Oh, the top's destroyed, I guess. That's... Oh, no.
It's puzzle time.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
How is this supposed to work? Oh.
Don't squish them down at all like that. I think they have to be like...
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Ooh.
That sure is something not working correctly. That sure is something not working right. There we go. I guess it has to hit directly from the top for some reason.
Token tracer. What?
I don't know. This is not, and this level of functionality is like wonky. I see a token up top. Yay. Trolling, I guess.
More Doraemon.
I have no idea who that is.
He is a robot cat from the future.
There's quite a few.
He's one of the main characters of a very, very long-running manga. Or anime. One of the two. Probably both.
I know there's the alien robot cat one that grants squishes. Is it Doraemon or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably needed that or whatever.
And the gadgets he brought with him do all kinds of useful things, but the other main character eventually learns to solve his problems without relying on futuristic technology.
Of course he does. That's why it's one of the longest running manga series. Because he learned how to be self-sufficient. We never need to rely on Doraemon again. It's like Detective Conan being like, what was he, 10 or something for like, or younger than that even, I think? He's been that way for like decades. What just happened?
You got pushed off of Rush somehow.
It's not supposed to work like that. Now I can't get through that section. Hey, I'm honestly, I mean, I'm guessing this scored this high because of like the creativity with some of like the map and all that, but this is a very long level. Hey, I can protect from behind. I mean, I'm guessing these.
Abandoned ship. Oh, jeez. Okay then.
Now we have to. Now we don't have enough to get through. Oh, this is awful.
Flavio hates this.
It is so long. Why is the stage so long? Well, that was unusual. But did he just leave you on the platform?
Yes.
Okay then. I'm not sure that was supposed to work that way either. Thank you, Energy Get Lag, for killing me. The only thing I know Kikoman is soy sauce, so... Wow.
Apparently it's also the name of a kind of plum wine. Whoops.
So quiet about the music, but...
Heights.
Okay. Can we... Maybe the music can turn back on now? What?
A lot of 2 music.
What the heck even is this?
It's a bottle of ketchup. Looks like you're just supposed to kill the little guys. Use tornado blow!
No, every time I hit it, it's just squirting ketchup at me and doing damage.
Okay.
The little guys are just kind of here to be annoying. This boss is going to take forever here. Wow, the weakness does 1 damage too. This is awful.
Yay! That was...
Something.
That was Amatsu says he thinks the music might be fine.
It's...
Crystal Man!
That sure was something. Yeah. I have no idea what any of that's...
Why? Okay, seriously, what? This was easily one of the most baffling concepts I've seen in a while, and I had to look it up to make some sense of the whole idea. I see what this is going for, but I'm not sure if it works. Mega Man looks extraordinarily out of the place, and the rock remix, while awesome, distracted me from the level enough that I'm not sure it works as background music. The level starts interesting, riding in on Rush Jet bike just like a soy sauce superhero. It can take some getting used to, but it's an excellent start to the level, or at least it would be if this was a Rush bike level. Unfortunately, the bike is abandoned after the intro, which is a crying shame as there were definitely opportunities for more speed platforming with the Doggo cycle. To make matters worse, the ASCII layer is a lot less fun than what came before it. Granted, the final room with everything over a pool of water is a fun time, and the smiley block puzzles are entertaining, particularly with wind.
Ooh, blocks, I don't know.
However, while the cat tops get entertaining setups, namely the fourth token dealing with them and pendulums at the same time, can be a bit frustrating. Thankfully, that's really only one instance, so the level by itself isn't bad, just less fun than it could have been. But then there's the boss. Oh, good land, the boss. And not much of a Heinz guy to begin with. I prefer French's myself. But ye goodness, that was a mess. High pressure, continuous bullet spam that kills you in 6 hits. Barriers every time you shoot it, which creates a lot of waiting. You can't clear the ridiculous spray minions with Tornado Blow because that causes a near undodgeable barrier to form. The inconsistent guarding behavior makes it really unclear if any weapons are effective. And the boss takes barely any damage, especially considering its vulnerability time. Approximately half of my personal recording is spent on this travesty. And I pretty much just brute force the thing. If there's a trick to this, I'd love to know. Otherwise, the Heinz Bottle is such a terrible boss that I genuinely would have preferred an energy element anticlimax. It's a shame. This started out kind of fun, but once we dropped Rush Bike, it turned into a completely different level, and the boss just... It was such a catastrophe of a fight that I genuinely dread playing this level again. I need bio.
That's fine. Sure was a level. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to look up what the heck this... Kikomon. Fight Kikomon. Oh! What? Oh, okay. I never saw this. This happened right, like, from Albino Black Sheep. So yeah, then I guess the music would have been fine. It's not an official thing. It's just something from an Albino Black Sheep Flash game. Or Flash animation. Well then, that sure was something. You shooting with your ears. Oh, I have Arboreal. Oh, this upset. Whoa. That's it. Ow. I don't want to make myself sad. Poor baby. My poor baby. I know. I know.
I'm pretty sure there's an underlying joke here that I'm just not getting. Either way, that was uniquely odd.
Just about right.
I don't mean that in a bad way, mind you. This is actually a fairly interesting stage with a lot going for it.
Hello, hello, hello.
The most standout thing here is easily aesthetics. It's actually pretty charming with everything being made out of ASCII characters. The renditions of classic Mega Man enemies in this style is also pretty amusing, even if some of them feel a little underutilized. The mono rotor in particular doesn't seem to show up much here. For as fun as the ASCII art is to look at, though, it doesn't forgive how lacking most of the background is. The few screens that have background details actually look pretty nice, and I wish they had a greater presence of the flat, slightly off shade of white that makes up most of the background drop here. Visuals aside, the stage itself actually plays out fairly well. While I wasn't really a fan of the opening rush bike segment, everything after that is a well-constructed series of platforming challenges. My favorite aspect of all this is how enemies complement the room layouts and gimmicks, especially the fan fiends and the Komasaburos.
Are you coming in too? I don't think you want to. Luna's right there.
They're set up in a variety of ways that contribute something to the platforming.
There's a good girl, Luna. Yeah.
Rather than just being there for the sake of it, which is always a plus in my book.
Milo,
Milo, buddy! My only major complaints with this stage come from some of the tokens as well as the end boss. In the case of the former, I found the first 3 tokens to be a lot harder to obtain than the final 2. You can easily lock yourself out of them just by missing some jumps.
I know you want to decide to explore, but I'm streaming.
Or by raising a platform too high in the case of the third one.
Inside. This guy, he was the Luna. He would have been in here already. I haven't rescued Luna. But Luna needed rescuing.
As for the boss, this fight is pure chaos. He spits out far too many projectiles, deals massive amounts of damage, and only takes 1 point of health from most weapons. Certain ones don't even hurt him, but still trigger his counter shots, such as Tornado Blow, which ends up flooding the screen even more. It's a bit of a sour note to end an otherwise decently good stage on.
I had to rescue you, which was so annoying with people. Luna!
Meow!
Luna!
It's a bit of a sour note to end up an otherwise decently good stage on, but for what it's worth, I still enjoyed most of my time with it. And as a final side note, the song used in this level is unbelievably catchy, and I'm probably going to be humming it for the rest of my days. Thank you, Kikomon, for this everlasting earworm of a theme song. Soup Alphabet's Unleashed, craziness ensured. I don't get the reference here at all. I guess it's cute. The aesthetics remind me of the Showbone action game. Probably not a good thing since that game was notorious for cheap deaths. Though it's probably just a coincidence since this and that are both based on Japanese emoticon art. Pretty frustrating first part of the level that you have to replay the whole part for if you fail to retrieve the token because you don't have rush at that point. It's not so bad to do it slowly, but not when you need to retry and do the jump again and again. Kinda odd checkpoint placement on the first screen of the swing platform. Puts you at the bottom of the swing so you instantly get tossed into the bottom screen checkpoint without a way back. This basically never really comes into play because the top section has nothing dangerous that can kill you, but still weird. I kinda like the platform you have to step on to raise the other one. And the color of my weird for sure, especially that one token room. The last portion of the stage can get pretty frustrating with all the fan fiends and respawning airborne enemies happily knocking you into the instant death pit as you try to do the jumps. Also the boss, cool off with the enemy spam please. So you're meant to fire pretty much always because how many hothead likes are spammed, but you're also punished if you hit the boss itself that spawns these waves at you. Also, don't ever use Tornado Blow in this battle. It also seems like my shots don't do damage sometimes, but they still spawn the invulnerable wave all the same. It's almost like the wave deflects a shot before it can register the boss taking damage. I love when irrepressible charm is backed up by good game design. From the cat car to the statue to the cleverly simple stand-in for the Wily logo at the boss gate, there's no shortage of delightful surprises, and the stylishness and clarity of the art more than make up for its simplicity. Moreover, the level features good introductions, appropriate checkpoints, and other buzzwords that keep showing up in my reviews. Going into this, I was unfamiliar with the main song and its source material. Now that I've gotten some culture, I think I'd like to see even more of the video represented in a level. As much as I love puzzles, a mini-boss shooting lasers from his chest and riding on a fish blimp would be better fit the easy breezy feeling established by this is how you do a rush bike section. This level doesn't feel disjointed as much as unrefined in how it evolves. Split paths overcomplicate the layout. Infinite bike energy abruptly and unceremoniously disappears. This gimmick looks promising but goes nowhere, and the block-breaking puzzles go somewhere too quickly. More of a learning curve is needed. The final stretch feels underbaked. Being able to reset the vertical platforms without dying or using weapons would be a huge improvement. However, swinging platforms and tops is impressively clever. Honorable mention to the fans as well. My most serious gripes are with the overly long and hectic boss fight. High-pitched whistles ruin the music. The health bar is illegible. Brighter colors, please. Indirect, reflected hits unfairly trigger a counterattack. To its credit, this is about the only place in the contest where launching Water Shield is as fun and damaging as it should be. Criticisms aside, the best parts of this level are fantastic. This is honestly one of the most disappointing levels of the competition because I want to love this. The graphics, music, and theme of the level are wonderful, as is the humor throughout, which is incredibly rare in this competition. The initial rushback segment is so very stupid and yet really fun. It's hard, but hey, fun hard is still fun. I'll keep the other positives short. Most of the level just kind of works as a fun romp. It doesn't push boundaries, but you have a stupid grin throughout, and that charm really carries the stage. And unfortunately also carries the score. I'm glad we're showing individual scores in this game because that aesthetic carries almost a third of this stage's total score. And this stage does have some areas where it swings and misses. As soon as the fan enemies show up, the combination of the enemy types and the swing often feels incredibly janky. And the fact that you have to do precise platforming sections with them, another bot.
A bot? Oh no. They kind of stopped plaguing me for some reason.
Anyway, as soon as the fan enemies show up, the combination of the enemy types and the swing often feels incredibly janky, and the fact that you have to do precise platforming sections with them around can easily get frustrating in a few rooms, so it's hard to control your character. Dishonorable mention to the long vertical climbing room, unfortunately one of the first places you encounter this combination. And Mega Man's respawning rules make any sort of misplay in this room highly punishing. Most of the time it's not too bad, but here, oof. The diamond token puzzle was a really cool idea, but in practice, I'm not sure how to get it to work properly. I nailed it quickly on the first attempt, but further runs are not so lucky. The player seems to have very little control over the situation, from the top's direction to the imprecise nature of the swings, the top's respawning, and getting the top off the final swing correctly. This room would have worked much better without the swings. The biggest problem with the stage, though, the ending. That boss was awful. When the player's reaction is, oh, screw you, after their 10th death, something has gone wrong somewhere. In this case, a lot of things. The boss does an absurd amount of damage. The main attack is completely random and spawns an overwhelming number of minions. And it has really high defense. Its charge shots and weapons do bugger all damage. The fact that this boss counterattacks on hits means certain weapons will flood the screen with indestructible projectiles. Use Tornado Blow at your peril. Mega Man's limited movement and vertically challenged shooting abilities make this boss incredibly unpleasant to fight. Paradoxically, it gets easier in its second phase due to the increased speed of the projectiles and minions, actually opening up safe gaps on the screen. There's a sweet spot to projectile speed, which the first phase falls far below. You want to know just how much this boss affected our perception? If you're seeing this sentence, then know it got this stage listed among the judge skip vote potentials up until the very last minute. I'm literally adding this the day we're announcing to the development team our votes. Ultimately, broody tank force is a viable strategy in Mega Man bosses, so...
Wow.
An incredibly sour note to end on, and colors the perception of the rest of the stage. It means this review ends up spending most of its time having to recount the negative aspects, which is unfortunate. There's a lot of potential to the level. It's a shame bungled key segments mean it did not live up to it. 1154. We're not just any old library here. We know that to be a gauntlet, we gotta add pizzazz. That's why the manager of this place installed a bunch of gigantic magical books. Don't you love them?
Just to see what the next level is, at least. We got...
Platform Hijinks by Drill Peter.
A Platiform.
Platiform.
Wow.
be the platform! Video games.
They have a bunch of video game strategy guys stocked here for some reason. One of the most commonly linked titles is one about a video game featuring a cruise ship. Displays prominently in the cover. How to find Timothy Daddy. Huh, what a weird tagline.
What?
I can't...
Haste Man. Maybe Bleeding Fast Robot Master. What you may know about me is I'm also an expert speed reader. One time I read through his entire catalog in a matter of days. This place is my next target. Am I reading and taking out the information I gleaned from these books? Absolutely not.
Evil energy facility. Oh no.
Battle Network 5 returns. Ow.
Well, I guess that's it for now then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we'll continue later.
Good times.
I mean, I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Hopefully something, but at this point...
Hopefully something, depending on when I get back from music practice and whether or not Anoth is available.
I hope so. We're going to be going on over like half a year or more at this rate?
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, the kitties, of course, leave right at the end of the stream, so I can't do my usual thing. Well, have puppies on the floor. Mishka is florped halfway in the bed, and Luna is right here amidst her mess. All of those brown things on the floor are stuffing from the bed that she pulls out when Mishka's laying in it, because she does not want Mishka laying in the bed and gets jealous.
Luna.
Isn't that right?
Bad puppy.
Even though you have your own bed. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's baby will be back tomorrow. Do something. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'll be back Saturday, and you'll be back Thursday and all that. Alright, everybody, stay well, be well, and we'll see you all next time. I need to get more Mega Mans. Bye-bye.
Good night.
This was the only Funko Pop one I got, though. Or not Funko Pop, yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah, loot crate stuff.